Welcome to Cienega High School. Jason Miller, along with Brady Carson, making his debut on Bobcat TV tonight. And it's a clash of 2 4 and 3 schools. The Blue Devils at 4 and 3, the Bobcats at 4 and 3. Both teams are vying for a high seed in the 5A state playoffs. So let's get a field report with Reagan Scott, who is down on the field here at Sunnyside.
For a big tip against Cienega. Sunnyside also has their senior, so the crowd is packed. Players to watch out for the Devils. Number 8, junior quarterback Dion Conde with a 70 for 126 and 907 yards with 14 touchdowns. And 617 yards. Number 15, senior wide.
All right, sorry about that. We will come back to Reagan Scott. So we're going to have to get her closer. Our audio range capabilities here have reached their limit. So we will come back to Reagan very soon. So sorry for that glitch here to open things up. But we're going to move her closer. And we'll come back to her field report here in just a minute. All right, let's try that again. So as the Blue Devils come out here with their Blue Devil flag busting through the poster on senior night, let's give it another shot here down on the field with Reagan Scott.
Cienega's High School is playing the Sunnyside Blue Devils. They're both going 4 for 3, 4 wins and 3 losses. Sunnyside runs a balanced offense, passing and running the football nearly equally. Sunnyside fans will be amped up tonight for the big game against Cienega High School. Some players to watch out for are number 8, junior quarterback Dion Conde with going 70 for 126 with 977 yards and 14 touchdowns. We have number 5, senior running back Nicholas Mcdaniel with 79 carries and 617 yards with 9 touchdowns rushing. We have number 15, senior wide receiver Trayvon Armstrong with 16 catches and 260 yards. And last but not least, number 25, sophomore safety and cornerback Anthony Martinez with 4 interceptions. For the Bobcats of Cienega High School, they are clicking on all cylinders, riding a 3-game win streak coming into tonight's game. We're going to be looking for number 16, junior quarterback Braden Cherry, who was 7 for 8 passing last week with 142 yards and 3 touchdowns. Number 32, senior Cole McFarland, who has 3 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 catch, which was 25 yards. We had number 22, senior Richie McCormick, who averaged 17 yards rushing last week, who also caught 2 passes for 59 yards and a touchdown. Last but not least, we have number 2, senior Elias Santana, with a 50-yard pick six, also excelling as a punt runner and kick returner. If the Cats need a big play, Yaya Santana usually finds a way to impact the game. Cienega is hoping to run the table these next 3 weeks, putting themselves in a great position for a higher seed in the playoffs. Miller, back to you.
All right, well done. So we apologize for the opening glitch here. Again, Jason Miller and Brady Carson, the junior from Cienega High School, rocking the Juju Smith-Schuster jersey. He's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and we are delighted to have him here on this broadcast tonight. So, Brady, you may have noticed I wasn't really paying attention to the coin toss there at the outset. Do we know who won the toss or who's going to be receiving here to open the game up?
Cienega won the toss. I did not see who.
Okay,
if they deferred or
so
received.
They likely deferred. I would imagine that Sunnyside will be receiving. So very quickly, Brady, before we get back to you here, the captains for tonight from Sunnyside, number 5, Nicholas McDaniel, their star running back, a senior. Number 6, Armando Guzman, the senior wide receiver, a receiver to look out for. Number 8 is their quarterback, Dion Conde, and he's a junior. And number 11, Eddie Lopez, the senior free safety and strong safety. For the Bobcats, the captains are always the same. There's number 10, JoJo Parker, number 22, Richie McCormick, number 32, Cole McFarland, and number 56, Garrett Montgomery, a quartet of seniors. The Cats will be kicking off from right to left. You can't miss Brindley Lorenko in those neon pink shoes. And Brady, what are we expecting here tonight? A great atmosphere, natural grass at Sunnyside, a school with a rich history and tradition of success in football and wrestling, one of the dominant schools in the state of Arizona historically. What are you looking out for here tonight?
I'm looking out for the run game. Both teams have strong run games. They're going to be using that all game long.
Absolutely. And for the Sunnyside Blue Devils, number 5 is the runner to watch out for, Nicholas McDaniel. Big stats, 79 carries, 657 yards, averaging 7.8 yards per carry, plus 9 touchdowns. So he is certainly the workhorse runner for Coach Glenn Posey and his Blue Devils staff. He's a senior, 5'6", 155. So Lorenko here getting set to kick off the Bobcats' brand new white jerseys. And she booms one here to about the 15. It takes a little hop there. A couple of Blue Devils scrumming for it. And it's number 1 on the return here, Diego Ariano. And a good tackle there in the open field by C.J. Handgartner, one of the seniors for the Bobcats.
They had a good couple of boxes that led to a little hole to open. Then Cienega just shut that down.
So the Cats here hoping to start out fast is how Coach Dustin Argraves likes to describe the team here. So looking at the defense for the Bobcats, it'll be Nolan Baker, Damian Orozco, Big D on the defensive line, Garrett Montgomery and Brody Coleman at the other defensive end. At linebacker, Cole McFarland, Richie McCormick, and Spezio Gonzalez. At the corners, Jimmy Diaz and Gunnar Hernandez. And at safety, Elias Yaya Santana and JoJo Parker, number 10. So Sunnyside here from the pistol. Runner comes in motion near side. Little play action. Quarterback rolling to his left under pressure. Nice screen pass here in open space. Ball is complete. A first down and more. A gain of 17 on the play and a late flag. It's likely going to be a late hit there against the Bobcats. On the reception, it was Armando Guzman. So 17 yards on the reception for Guzman, the senior, on the reception from Dion Conde. And Conde has great numbers at quarterback position. 56% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 907 yards passing on the year, and a sterling quarterback rating of 108.8. He can also run the football, 33 carries for 80 yards, averaging just 2.4 per carry, but a scrambler and somebody who is dangerous. And a penalty early here against the Bobcats, plus 15 for Sunnyside. A beautifully drawn-up play there, just a screen pass to the far side. 1st and 10, Blue Devils right at midfield. Little play action. Nolan Baker applying pressure there, and nowhere to go for Dion Conde, who wisely just kind of threw that one in the direction of his receiver. It looks like it was number 5, who was Nicholas McDaniel, his running back.
It looked like Nolan Baker just snuck through the line right there. Had early pressure on him, had to get rid of it.
Well, he's a beast. We know that, the senior, number 54. Aspirations of being a SEAL, a Navy SEAL. Those are the best and brightest. His mother, Lisa Baker, a great chemistry teacher at Cienega High School. So Nolan Baker, you can tell me, Brady, if my assessment is accurate here. He speaks softly. He does not say too many words, but when he does speak, he has a commanding presence, and he is an absolute leader in the classroom.
That is exactly right.
He commands respect. You can see him often sleeveless most of the time, showing off the guns. So he is a product of the Steve Schween weight room, as many of these student athletes are. We've got a timeout early here called by the Blue Devils. So Glenn Posey, the head coach, saw something he didn't like, so an early timeout here. And it is absolutely perfect weather here on the 29th of October. It just feels like playoff football. We're certainly approaching that time of the year, and just 2 days away from Halloween. So we want to wish our best out there to everybody who celebrates that holiday, and of course the little kiddos who are going to be trick-or-treating. So great to see all the costumes on campus today. Did you notice all the costumes that we saw? I barely noticed any of them. I was too busy jotting down notes and getting ready for tonight's broadcast.
Yeah, I saw a couple. There was a unicorn and a Scooby-Doo outfit.
Oh, nice. Oh, there was one of the teachers. I think Lene Carroll was dressed up as Velma. He was the brainy one of the quartet, or I guess the 5 of them from Scooby-Doo, right? You've got Scoob, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Fred. Right? Those are the Scooby-Doo mates in the Mystery Machine. So 2nd down and 10. Sunnyside in the midnight blue. They've got midnight blue from head to toe. The helmets are metallic blue. You got some decorations there and some accessories in pink because, of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we've got a whistle down here before the play. And we'll see what the referees call on this one. So waiting for a signal down from on the field.
I think they're looking at the clock.
The clock, maybe the clock. At one point, the clock seemed to kind of glitch out there, but we've got 11:31 on the clock, so just 29 seconds into this game here. It's 2nd down and 10 from the Cienega 48-yard line for Sunnyside. A nice return to open the game for the Blue Devils, and a beautiful screen pass and a 15-yard penalty against the Bobcats here, and that's basically a summation of the action to this point. Quarterback on the bootleg, goes left side. You see those wheels. Big yardage here. Oh, a gain of about 18, and another 1st down for the Blue Devils.
That was a well-designed play. They had the receiver in motion, which cleared that cornerback out from the left side.
Smart. So trying to throw some wrinkles in here to confuse the Bobcat defense. And you see the wheels by Dion Conde there. Again, coming into the game tonight, 80 yards, and there's a big pickup of 18 for him, averaging just 2.4, but he's got the speed. You could see it there that he flashed it on that naked bootleg. And again, he's a dangerous passer. So Sunnyside here clicking early. The Bobcats looking slightly sluggish and lethargic. 1st and 10 Blue Devils from the 31-yard line. Runner goes in motion, far side, quarterback here fakes. Now there's some big pressure there by Cole McFarland. Now he's throwing it back to the middle, and the ball's intercepted. And I think it was Richie McCormick on the pick. And we'll verify that in just a moment, but that ball just fluttered, and there's Richie with a big play defensively. So the Micmac attack, we saw it right there. McFarland applying pressure. He is the leading sacker for the Bobcats with 5 on the season. And just throwing his arms up there, kind of befuddling Dion Conde, who misadvisedly just kind of lofted that one to the center of the field. McCormick there to pluck it. Big interception here for the Cats on defense early. Bobcats have Brady Belts at wide receiver near side, Karan Watson far side, and Belts goes in motion. Belts on the jet sweep, and it's snuffed here.
That was stuffed immediately. There's 4 Sun Devils, or Blue Devils, right around there, so.
Number 56, Jason Taylor, one of the seniors for Sunnyside, 6'3", 257, 4.5 sacks on the season for Taylor. And a tackle for loss here. Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Bobcats on the offensive line. We'll get to that after this play. We'll let you know exactly who is up there on the offensive line for the Bobcats. About 1,000 pounds of grade AA beef. Handoff here, Cole McFarland near side, a little stutter step, now hits the corner, finds the edge. And now he cuts it back inside. Cole McFarland with 2 players to outrace here. And oh boy, Cole just sneaking in there. A little bit early on that one, but it will be 72 yards on the touchdown run by Cole McFarland.
He had those 2 juke moves to get to the corner, and then once he got to the corner, he was just gone.
Little stutter step, right? And the player that was out on the edge was out in space, and a little extra juke there. So 72 yards on the touchdown run by Cole McFarland. Very reminiscent of last week against Nogales. The first play from scrimmage, it was McFarland 80 yards on the touchdown run. And here comes Brindley Lorenko, the superlative place kicker for the Cats, who is 25 of 26 on extra points on the season. She only missed the first one of the year against Sunrise Mountain. Since then, she's been perfect. So you have the hashtag, the Twitter hashtag for Cienega's football team is the boys in Vail. Well, I would add the boys plus their queen. Brindley Lorenko, the superlative senior, who is an excellent student athlete, 4.8 grade point average, and a soccer star to boot. So you've got Rich Rodriguez, the long snapper, Brady Belts, the holder, gets the hold down, and Brindley blasting that one through the uprights. And the Cats here early, 7-0. Well, it's got to be a little demoralizing. Sunnyside was clicking so nicely on their first 3 or 4 plays from scrimmage, and then, of course, the interception. So it was Richie McCormick, the senior linebacker from Cienega, on the interception. And then from their first play of scrimmage, well, I guess their second play. The second play from scrimmage, 72 yards for Cole McFarland on the touchdown run. And Cole's one of those leaders, too, and one of those quartet of captains.
The Micmac attack once again.
Yeah, the Micmac attack. I guess the kids like that. Like, I coined it. I wasn't sure when I said it at first, but it just seemed to kind of flow. You've got Cole McFarland and Richie McCormick, the Micmac attack. 22 and 32. Both players go both ways for the Bobcats. Many of their great players do go both directions. But their stamina is up to the challenge. And again, I give such credit to Steve Schween and his conditioning and weight training, and Justin Argraves in year 1 as the head coach, the architect of this program here, has these players improving week by week. Bit of a flare kick there, dropped ever so momentarily by the Blue Devil, who returns it across the 32-yard line. And a tackle on the play there by Christian Hawkins.
Yeah, that was covered quickly by the Cats.
So good field position here for Sunnyside at the 32. I have to thank right away the athletic director from Sunnyside, Casey O'Brien. We have a penalty here. It's an illegal block going against Sunnyside. So this will move the ball back a little bit with the field position. But I want to thank Casey O'Brien, the great athletic director and the wonderful soccer coach for the boys program. A state title winner, I believe, 2 years ago for the Blue Devils. Always has those boys primed and ready to make deep runs in February when the playoffs happen for soccer. And also to Nick Duddleston, the great film and television teacher here at Sunnyside. We appreciate the hospitality. It's always wonderful coming here to Sunnyside, one of the great schools in the city of Tucson. 1st and 10 Blue Devils from the 20-yard line. Bobcats up 7-0. Handoff here comes near side. It's Diego Ariano, and he takes a big hit on the outside there by Elias Santana. Richie McCormick also there to help with the tackle. So Santana at just 5'9", slightly undersized at safety, but that kiddo has a nose for the ball, and he is just kind of electrifying with his speed and quickness. We've seen him on a punt return for a touchdown, an interception return for a touchdown, and a kickoff return for a touchdown this year. So when the ball's in Elias's hands, he just has a way of making things happen.
Yeah, he's really shifty on punt returns, just slippery.
Shifty's a good way to describe it. He's kind of like the Silver Surfer. I kind of watch him in action and just watch him drifting and gliding through, cutting in and out. So very difficult to keep tabs on. 2nd down and 6. Handoff goes far side. Big tackle there by JoJo Parker. So number 10, one of those quartets of seniors, and also his mate, his senior mate there, Garrett Montgomery, another captain. So Parker, number 10, senior captain, McCormick, 22, senior captain. McFarland, 32, senior captain. And Garrett Montgomery, number 56, big 56, who also has, you have a great mullet too, Brady Carson. You've got a great mullet, and Nolan Baker has a great mullet, and Garrett Montgomery has a great mullet. So I'd like to see the mullet making a comeback, I have to say. 3rd down and 4. Cats applying some pressure. Nice pass there. It's going to be very close to the marker, and I think he's got a 1st down. So a nice catch there in space by Samario Garcia. His 16th catch of the season, averaging 6.9 yards per reception. And you see Dion Conde there firing another strike. So Conde has been accurate here. He is a dual threat quarterback who can run and throw off the run. Early interception by Richie McCormick, but Conde now finding his rhythm once again, and the Blue Devils 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And it was great to see all the seniors being recognized here pre-game with their parents and sometimes grandparents down there as well. Always special to see the seniors being recognized on their special night. Little misdirection here, and the runner comes back to the near side. Ball looks like it popped out, and it's recovered by Sunnyside. So it was Gabriel Graciano, the senior lineman, on the recovery. The ball was carried by Samario Garcia, who fumbled. And there's also a holding penalty on the play, so it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, moving Sunnyside back another 10 yards. So these mistakes, as a coach, they just drive the coaches crazy, and I'm sure Glenn Posey, the head coach from Sunnyside, is a little discouraged with the early penalties here. Got to cut these mistakes. Got to cut these mistakes out. And we're looking at a 1st down and 18 for Sunnyside. And Cats show blitz. McCormick on the blitz. Screen pass goes far side. Ball's caught, and a good tackle out in space by Spezio Gonzalez.
Once again, they're just breaking through the line, putting a lot of pressure on the QB, which is forcing them to get rid of it really quickly.
And you'll notice too, Brady, that Coach Justin Argraves likes to bring his blitzes from different players and different spots on the field, and he'll often use one of his linebackers or sometimes 2 of them, McCormick and McFarland, but McFarland is really the best blitzer from the linebacking position for the Cats, again, with 5 sacks on the season for Cienega. So a gain of 3, and it will make it 2nd down and 16 for Sunnyside. Little play action. Screen again far side. We've got a couple of flags down on the play. Josh Savage just entering the game here, making a quick tackle. That kid has a non-stop motor. I don't know what he's like in the classroom. I mean, I do, but I know on the field he's an absolute terror. He's got one of those motors that just doesn't quit.
Yeah, he's all over the place on the field.
He's all over the place on the field. Also tough to wrangle on the classroom, too. I see him sometimes drifting here and drifting there across campus. But on the field, he is pure energy, and his emotion, I think, can kind of lift his teammates to great heights. We've seen him, and then we also have Gio Tobias, number 70, subbing in there. So the Cats will rotate different defensive ends and linemen to keep them all fresh. So Brody Coleman out there, Garrett Montgomery, Gio Tobias, and Josh Savage. Spelling in here for Nolan Baker and Big D, Damian Orozco. So 2nd down and long. A long 23 here for the Blue Devils. And some pressure now again. Handgartner applying it. Quarterback scrambling for his life and just slides down there because there are 3 Cats encircling him.
Yeah, that time they sent C.J. Handgartner on the blitz, which is a slot cornerback. So, they're, like you said, they're using all different players to blitz. Mixing,
matching, subbing in. Very similar skill sets, right? Keeping everybody fresh. Kind of a quiet night. I know the Bobcat Copper Thunder Marching Band would usually travel with these Bobcats. They have a big day tomorrow. They are participating at the University of Arizona's Band Day Festival. So scores of schools from across the state of Arizona will be playing at the University of Arizona. Bobcat TV will be there. Nick Irvin and I will be there with bells on tomorrow night. As soon as the Cats are finished performing, I believe they're slated for 7 o'clock, maybe 7:15 exactly. Once the Cats are finished, we've got Halloween parties to go to, Nick. I know I've got one to go to. Screen pass, right side, Richie McCormick on the tackle for the Cats. And the ball was caught by, it's hard to see, I think that's number 15, Trayvon Armstrong, who is their biggest and best receiver at 6'3", 17 receptions on the season for 260 yards, averaging 16.3 yards per reception, plus 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was a great play by Richie, forcing them to punt.
So good defensively, right? Like, you know, both Richie and Cole, they're very similar. They both play linebacker, they both play running back, they both excel, and they're both leaders and captains on the team. So the similarities are numerous, and there's a timeout here taken by Sunnyside. So they've burned 2 timeouts here early. And you can see Coach Glenn Posey a little bit frustrated here. But a good start for Cienega, no doubt about it, right? The interception by Richie McCormick and the 72-yard touchdown run by Cole McFarland. Brinley Lorenko made the extra point, and the score, as it is at the moment, is 7-0 Cienega. Great weather here. Nice and cool. And just not even the slightest of breezes. So wind not a factor, weather not a factor. 79 degrees at the moment, and the temperature will dip down into the low 70s and maybe even into the 60s as this game progresses. But no surprises here for me, Brady, so far. Anything surprising you early here in this game?
The Devils are using a lot of motions, trying to throw off the defense. That really surprised me.
And we've also seen their screen, right? And the screen can be effective to try to neutralize blitzes. So they've gone to it a couple of times here, and I'm sure the Cats will adjust. There's a block. Handgartner on the block. The ball scooped up by Kinsavage. Josh Kinsavage on the touchdown.
Wow.
CJ Handgartner blocked the punt. Kinsavage there scooped it up and scampered in for 3 yards for a touchdown. And he's getting mobbed by his teammates on the other sideline.
CJ just snuck right through the line.
All right, there is a penalty marker down. Let's see what this penalty is. I'm trying to interpret here the signal from the referee, and I'm hoping the public address announcer can help me out here. All right, so I'm going to call. I'm glad the touchdown stood, just so Josh Kinsavage could have a touchdown. I love that. We're gonna find him after the game. We got to talk to that kid. So that has my spidey senses here kind of tingling off the charts. So the blocked punt by CJ Handgartner, we'll call that a 3-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown by Josh Kinsavage. And here comes Brinley to attempt the extra point for the Cats. Again, Rich Rodriguez, the long snapper. Brady Belts, the holder. We have a flag here before the snap. And we'll see how this one shakes out. Offsides against Sunnyside, so that penalty is declined. And the Cats here will set up for their extra point. Well, it's great, right? Because I was talking about Josh Kinsavage and his energy. The kid's like a little bit like the Tasmanian Devil. That's an old Warner Brothers cartoon. But he's got that energy, just kind of constant energy, frenetic motion. As the snap is down, the kick is up and good, and the Cats take a 14-0 lead here early at Sunnyside. But that's a memory he'll never forget, Brady. He'll always remember that one his entire life.
Yeah.
His first varsity touchdown. And I'm sure he's very popular among his teammates because the kid is just pure energy. He's kind of infectious. It's a little bit contagious when you hang around him. But boy, he came out and made an impact early, and certainly coming through on that fumble recovery right there. Handgartner on the block and Kinsavage on the touchdown. Cats up 14-0. And we've got 4:20 on the clock here in the first quarter. Well, it's, I guess, as good a time as any to preview upcoming events on Bobcat TV. Nick Irvin and I will be at the University of Arizona tomorrow night for the U of A Band Day celebration. We're not sure if we're able to broadcast and stream that live. If we are, we'll do it live. If not, we'll record it and upload it on YouTube after the fact for Grant Knox and the Copper Thunder Marching Band. On Tuesday, we'll be back on Cienega's campus for girls volleyball. Here's a nice return coming across midfield and all the way to the 45-yard line. And it was number 1, Diego Ariano, who is a bit of a Swiss Army knife for the Blue Devils. So averaging 37 yards per kickoff return. He's also averaging 9.4 yards per carry and 12.6 per reception. He's got 5 touchdowns on the season, 3 receiving, 1 rushing, and 1 on a kick return. So he flashed his wheels there, and he sets up the Blue Devils with excellent field position at the Bobcat 45. 1st and 10. Quarterback back to throw. He's got some time. Sets up in the pocket. Great catch there. A nice leaping reception by Edgar Garcia. McCormick on the tackle. A short gain of 2 makes it 2nd down and 8.
Richard McCormick read that all the way. He was right there. Once he caught the ball, he tackled him.
And Brady, I think the Bobcat defense week by week has improved. I think in all 3 facets or phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, we see Cienega finding their rhythm here, right? And the scenarios laid out in front of them here. Up 14-0 over Sunnyside at the moment. Next week at Marana, back home for senior night against Rincon University. And a great opportunity for the Cats to run the table potentially, finish this regular season 7-3, and set themselves up for a decent seeding for the 5A state playoffs. And we have, is it a timeout here taken by Sunnyside? So they've taken their 3rd timeout, it appears, with 3:29 on the clock in the 1st quarter, and the Bobcats up 14-0. Well, I know as an NFL fan, when your team kind of burns timeouts early, it gets a little frustrating. At the high school level, it's a little bit more forgivable. You want to make sure that the kiddos are on the same page. Sometimes you have to stop a little bit of the bleeding defensively and try to neutralize the other team's attack. So I have no problems at the high school level taking early timeouts. At the professional level, it's inexcusable, right? Because you know late in the first half or late at the end of the game, you're going to need those timeouts if you're trailing in a game. So from a fan's perspective, I've got no issues with that happening at the high school level. 2nd and 8. Man comes in motion near side. Handoff goes to the far side. It's Nicholas McDaniel on the carry. And he is tackled by Cole McFarland. But a gain of about 5 on the play. It'll make it a 3rd down and about 3.
Once again, that motion just clears the left side. Richie McCormick or Cole McFarland had to make that tackle for it to be a third down.
And for those linebackers, Brady, they have to remain disciplined. Like, you have your zone or your area of the field. You can't be impulsive and try to stay with the ball. You've got to kind of stay home because it might come back the other direction to you, and that's what we saw in that last play.
Yeah.
Third and 3. Quarterback back to throw. And Elias Santana was there in coverage. Pass intended for Armando Guzman, incomplete. Now Sunnyside could certainly go for it here. I think it's a good idea for them to actually do so. So they've got just 3 yards to go here. The ball's in pretty good field position at the 38-yard line. If they fail to convert the 4th down conversion, it's not the end of the world, right? Your other option is to try to pin Cienega deep in their own end with a punt and try to angle it there into the corner. And their punter, Mike Vasquez, is very good. And he has a couple of punts inside the 10-yard line this season, averaging about 32 yards per punt attempt. So a big 4th and 3 here. Dion Conde back to throw. Flare pass here, right side. It's a foot race, and Richie McCormick there wrapped him up on the tackle. So the ball was complete to Nicholas McDaniel, but Richie McCormick was right there for a nice open field tackle.
Yep, Richie McCormick just saw that the whole time. Saw the running back coming out in the flat, so he had to guard him.
But I have no qualms with that call. I like the aggressiveness here by Glenn Posey and the Blue Devils going for it. Again, it's not catastrophic. The Bobcats have good field position at their own 41-yard line, but I like the moxie here, the grit, and trying to go for it early here, telling your team and your fans, hey, we're going all out. We're going for broke here. Sometimes you got to roll the dice, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. We've got an offsides penalty here against Sunnyside. It was 56 crossing the line, Jason Taylor. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Blue Devils, and the Cats have 1st and 5. So the Cats have Jimmy Diaz lined out wide to the far side. They have, tough to tell, I think that's Richie McCormick at tailback. And Braden Cherry is the quarterback in the pistol. A little fake pitch there. Now he swings to the right side. Jimmy Diaz. Diaz through space here, out across the 40 to the 35. So it'll be 26 yards on the reception by Diaz. And Diaz only a sophomore. And Brady, for me, he projects as a superstar wide receiver and a shutdown, lockdown corner. We've seen him make some highlight reel catches already this season. He's also emerging as a defensive presence, as a shutdown, lockdown cornerback. But, you know, I think the sky is the limit for him in terms of his potential at the wide receiver position for Cienega. Handoff right side, short gain, maybe 2 on the play.
Devils were all over that one.
And let me mention the Cienega, I forgot to mention the offense, so let me do this. Left tackle to right tackle, so Ethan Shockmel, 55 at left tackle, the senior. The left guard is Anthony Murrieta, also a senior. The center is Landon Hall, the junior, number 78. Right guard is Garrett Montgomery, the senior, 56. Right tackle, Nolan Baker. The quarterback is the junior, Braden Cherry. At running back, Richie McCormick and Cole McFarland will both sub in. The slot receiver is Brady Belts, and then at wide receiver, you have a mix and match. You could have Karan Watson, CJ Handgartner, also Jimmy Diaz, Gunnar Hernandez, Christian Hawkins, and Gavin Peterson. So there's your offense for the Cats. And I know we have a graphic that shows all those linemen for the Bobcats, which is 1,000 pounds of grade A American AA beef, left tackle to right tackle. So there we go. You can see all the Cats there. Shockmel is dealing with a slightly aggravated right ankle injury, but he's taping it up and gutting it out. He's also the team's punter. You also see Anthony Murrieta, Shug, big Shug there at left guard. Landon Hall, the junior center, number 78. Garrett Montgomery with the beautiful flowing 80s hair rock there, hairstyle. And Nolan Baker with a mullet at right tackle as well. So the Cats there, a strong offensive front. And the handoff goes here to Richie McCormick, who cannot find the edge. He drags a would-be tackler and kind of slides and slithers his way forward for an extra yard. But that motor never stops for McCormick. You see, he and McFarland are always going full throttle. So it'll set up a 3rd down and about 3 for the Cats. They might go play action here, right? It would be a decent time to do that. We've seen Braden Cherry week by week developing under the tutelage of his offensive coordinator, Lewis Nightingale. And Cherry is not the best runner, but he is very deceptive with these play action passes. Well, the Cats here going wide open set. 3 wide outs to the far side, 1 near side. It's McCormick near side, and Cherry in the pistol. Takes a step, fires and throws. Gavin Peterson makes the catch at the 25, at the 20, and it's a 1st down. A gain of 7, and the chains move forward. But Cherry, just 1 step and firing. Step and throw. Don't think too long. Don't hold it too long. Find your target and connect. And we've seen Peterson here, who has made an impact at that wide receiver position on the season. He's got 6 catches now for 66 yards, averaging 11.8 per reception and 2 touchdowns. Saw him earlier today, and I just wished him good luck in his travels. So, you know, sometimes I see different Cats. It's fun to identify them. I have to have their jerseys on for the most part, but I did wish him good luck here today as we just kind of crossed paths. I think it was probably after second period today. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter, and the Cats are on top 14-0. And Brady Carson, I want to thank you for taking a leap here tonight and joining us on Bobcat TV. I know sometimes it takes a little encouragement, but we certainly appreciate your willingness to help us out with your color commentary. You've done a great job so far.
Thank you, thank you.
So what can we expect here? What kind of adjustments, if any, can Sunnyside make? I mean, sometimes you just sometimes might be outgunned a little bit in terms of personnel. The Bobcats are a stacked team with plenty of talent. They have a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, a lot of upperclassmen. What can Sunnyside try to do here to try to claw back in and get back in this ball game?
It's looking like they're going to have to add another offensive lineman to protect their quarterback so he can actually pass the ball down the field. They're really struggling with that right now.
So just getting him some time to throw the football, right? And you see this at the NFL level. We've seen great quarterbacks collegiately who go to a franchise that's just terrible, and they don't have an established offensive line, and it makes it very difficult for those quarterbacks, as talented as you could be, right? And I'm thinking about somebody like Trevor Lawrence, who was so good at Clemson for his 4 years and struggling with Jacksonville, and Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears, struggling with the Bears. Again, a depleted offensive line. You have to have time to throw the football. And we saw even last year with the great Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, missing a couple of his starters on the O-line, not the same kind of a quarterback. There's Brody Coleman, who makes the catch, and he's down inside the 10 for a Bobcat first down. So big Brody Coleman at 6'5" is starting to become a favorite target for Braden Cherry. And Cherry has said, well, he's so tall, you just throw it in his area. He's going to go up there and get the ball every time.
Looks like Brody was just trying to find open space right there. He had really no route, just trying to find an open space.
Just a little seam, right? And I was talking about Mahomes momentarily. And, you know, you think about somebody like Travis Kelce, who's 6'5". Brody Coleman is 6'5" as well, to give you a size comparison. I'm not saying he's Travis Kelce, who is, and I'm not saying he's Rob Gronkowski at 6'6", who is, but he's that kind of size, and he certainly projects at tight end, at the next level, and potentially beyond. We're seeing him blossom before our eyes. McCormick on the run. Far side, it's very close. Touchdown. So sorry, was that Richie? Richie McCormick, thank you. So I'm trying to jot the scores down here, and tough to see. Like, I was trying to see how many yards that was. 9-yard touchdown run, thank you. Nick Irvin, my director and producer here, right in my ear telling me 9 yards. So 9-yard touchdown run by Richie McCormick. And here's Brindley to attempt the extra point. Low snap there by Rich Rodriguez. Nice hold by Brady Belts, and Brindley blasts it through, and the Cats here early up on top, 21-0. Well, this is not a surprise, Brady Carson. We knew coming into the game here that Cienega had maybe a little bit more firepower than Sunnyside. And we also looked at kind of like the records and the common opponents between the two teams. And we expected the Cats here to be very strong and also to be favored coming into the game here tonight. So this is not a surprise to me.
It's not a surprise to me either.
Bobcats, you could just kind of see them maturing before our eyes, right? If you think about week 1 and going up to Sunrise Mountain and falling, I think it was 49-6 in that opening week loss at Sunrise. And then they beat Sierra Vista Buena in week 2. I think it was like, was it 42-6?
I think it was 34-0.
35-6 in week 2. And then week 3 was the South Point Catholic game, which was a very close game. I think that was 30-22. Then they lost 23-21 to Campo Verde. And then they've strung up 3 consecutive wins against Mountain View, Ironwood Ridge, and Nogales. So trying to extend their winning streak to 4 games here, and also take a more commanding position in the 5A state playoff landscape. So Sunnyside tonight, Marana next Friday, Rincon at senior night on the 12th of November. and then the playoffs. And the Bobcats are on that trajectory to go back into the playoffs, a place where they are very well accustomed to. The fans are spoiled a little bit down in Vail with the Bobcats because Cienega is always in the playoffs. And sometimes they have great teams, and sometimes they run against stronger teams from Phoenix that just have more size. But this team, pound for pound, I will take this team and match them against anybody in the state of Arizona. So 1st and 10, Sunnyside. The ball's at their own 32, and there's plenty of smoke here. We're getting smoked out. So they've got some grilling happening. It smells like a little carne asada. There's a nice catch, and a gain of 15, maybe 16 on the reception, and a first down here for the Blue Devils. Nice reception by Trayvon Armstrong, and the tackle by Richard McCormick.
They gave him a little more time that time. There's not a lot of rushers, so.
So you see the results here. Just what you talked about, Brady, is if Sunnyside can give their quarterback a little bit of time to throw that football, then Dion Conde can be very effective and highly accurate at the passing position. So right on the money there, delivering it right to the numbers of Trayvon Armstrong, and a first down here for the Blue Devils. 1st and 10 from their own 48. Cats showing blitz here. And it's Richie McCormick, and here he comes. Almost. Savage also chasing. Ball is tossed up there. A couple of Cats in coverage, and the ball's incomplete. But you can see Dion Conde with his legs able to scramble, able to roll out, and able to throw off of the run. But the Bobcats had a couple of defenders there in coverage, JoJo Parker among them. I'm dying to know about the World Series. At halftime, I will check the score. So game 3 shifts to Atlanta. So games 3, 4, and 5 in Atlanta. That series is tied at 1. Houston Astros, Atlanta Braves. I have a lot of students who are all over the Atlanta Braves bandwagon. And I have a lot of, oh, there's a bad snap. So very difficult there. Conde just has to smother that one and able to do so. I don't think he was exactly waiting for it. And Spezio Gonzalez was right there applying pressure. So it'll be a loss of about 10, maybe 11 on that errant snap, which is unfortunate.
It didn't look like he was ready for that one.
No, I don't think he was. Like, he was kind of like surveying the defense, and the center just snapped it, and he wasn't ready. It went right past him. So this will set up a 3rd down and a long 20. And Brady, you're a baseball player as well?
I used to play baseball.
So the feedback I've gotten from my baseball players is that they're disappointed in Houston. It's that cheating scandal when they beat the Dodgers in the World Series. I think it was 3 years ago. So they have not forgotten that. And I understand that perspective. My view is I love Dusty Baker, so I'm rooting for Dusty Baker above everything else. It's hard to root for the Astros, but I have no problem rooting for Dusty Baker, the great manager and former player who's had so much success across the major leagues. I think a Hall of Famer for sure. And if he wins a World Series, how could you keep him out of the Hall of Fame? Quarterback here, the pocket collapsing on him. A coverage sack. The Cats there in coverage defensively. The definition of a coverage sack. They had the corners and safeties and linebackers all locking up the intended receivers there. I'm not sure if that was 74 on the sack for Cienega. 74 is Brendan Lucas, the junior. He was right there. Spezio Gonzalez, number 8, was also there for the Bobcats. And now you've got Elias Santana, the dangerous punt returner. Yaya lurking at his own 30-yard line. And the punter for Sunnyside is Mike Vasquez, the junior, number 80, averaging 30 yards per punt. Nice snap here. Well, it's a high punt, not very deep. Might take a wicked hop here. Watch out. Very dangerous, and the Cats is kind of lurking and circling around that one. And the ball's down at the 32-yard line. I was gonna say 38, but that was a 35-yard punt there by Mike Vasquez. A nice job there. The hang time was excellent, and he got a favorable bounce. And the Cats here, 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. So I know I mentioned that we'll be at Cienega on Tuesday night. The Cienega girls volleyball team will be hosting a play-in playoff game, and that match should be at 6 o'clock. Well, we'll be there with bells on Tuesday, no doubt. And Reagan Scott and Savannah Smith, I'm sure, will be at that volleyball match on Tuesday, giving you play-by-play and color commentary. And then next Friday night, we'll be at Marana, giving you coverage of our varsity football team as we always do. So a run to the right side there by Cole McFarland, and Cole picks up 3, making it 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, the Devils just surrounded him there. He couldn't get anywhere.
But the Bobcats here have to be happy with the start of this game. Right? They've generated a turnover on an interception by Richie McCormick. They have a punt blocked that led to a touchdown by Josh Savage. So it was the block by CJ Handgartner and the Savage touchdown. And now a little play action, the flare pass near side to Brady Belts. You see Brady with that speed, and he picks up 10 and a 1st down. The tackle on the play was by Ruben Lovanos Jr. on the tackle.
He made that first dude miss. He was going to be tackled for like 1 or 2 yard gain. But after he made that dude miss, he had a little bit of open room to run.
And patience there. So you see Brady, who is so fast, is number 1, the senior slot receiver. Again, he's also the holder on special teams, so he's filling multiple roles. And they love to use him on jet sweeps. So he is the leading ball carrier from the wide receiver position. Ooh, Cherry there, a miscommunication between him and Karan Watson. Karan looks at him with his hands up, palms up to the sky like, I don't know, like I wasn't ready for that one. So I think Braden thought he was going to do a quick little slant, and Karan was maybe trying to do an out pattern, and they had their wires crossed. So incomplete, 2nd and 10. Now, these are new uniforms. Did you notice the jerseys that the Cats are wearing today on campus?
Yeah, they're the Battle uniforms, right?
Which uniforms?
The Battle uniforms, the one sponsored by Battle.
Oh, I didn't know that. So Battle is an apparel, like a clothing designer, I guess, right? So they make jerseys and uniforms. That's why they're calling it the Battle jerseys. Okay, flare pass, Cole McFarland. Uh-oh. So a couple of things. There should be a face mask. There's no doubt about it. So we saw McFarland's helmet ripped to one side. The ball did pop out, and of course, multiple flags. So before anything happened, there should be the face mask, and we'll see how the referees signal this. There's also an injured Blue Devil down right at midfield. Very dangerous, right? Anytime you see a kid's face mask get grabbed, and there's the indicator. So it's a face mask, which negates the fumble. And you hope that Cole's okay. You always worry about a kiddo's neck when they get jerked around like that by their face mask or their helmet. I don't think it was intentionally done by the Blue Devil player, but it was just, you're trying to grab something, and sometimes you're reaching out there and latching onto whatever you can get your hands on. So we'll see here that injured Blue Devil, they are massaging ever so gently the right leg and right knee for that player. We'll identify him as soon as we can spot that jersey number. You might be able to see it, Brady. It's tough for me across the way. It's nice to see him getting a hand up here. Is that 82? So, or is it 62? Tough to see. It's hard to read that jersey number from the front. 62? Might be 62. There's no 52. So number 52 is Anthony Kamalot, who is the junior center from Sunnyside. So number 52 coming off the field. And it's good to see Anthony walking off on his own power. So we'll kind of monitor that situation. He's walking pretty gingerly. Actually, I think that's 62, Michael Maldonado. So Maldonado's a senior offensive lineman for Sunnyside. Cats here back to throw. Cherry going for the whole kick and caboodle. Just out of the reach of Gunnar Hernandez. So again, just a slight little bit of touch on that one. But Hernandez had a couple of steps on his defender, and Cherry was going for broke on that one, incomplete.
Yeah, that was a good right by Gunnar. The out and in, the out and up.
Little out and up, a little zig and fly there, and a big target, and one of the favorite targets for Braden Cherry. Cherry last week was 7 for 8, I think 164 yards and 3 touchdown passes. The Sterling quarterback rating of 166.7. That's just a small sample from last week. And again, they overmatched Nogales. So, but Cherry, week by week, is clicking, finding his rhythm, and becoming very accurate as a passer. His maturation has been great to watch. Intended for Handgartner. It was broken up there. A little deep post pattern. And there in coverage, number 8, I think is Dion Conde, who it was at 6. So 6 would be Armando Guzman back there in coverage. So 3rd down and 10 for the Bobcats. And we'll see what Lewis Nightingale, the offensive coordinator for the Cats, draws up here on 3rd and 10. Cherry always gets the plays from the sideline and then brings them into the huddle. So you've got Brady Belts near side at receiver, Gunnar Hernandez far side. So a trio of Cats near side. You've got Watson, Belts, and Handgartner. And far side Hernandez. He's looking for Gunnar. And Gunnar on the catch. He's very close to that 1st down marker. The referee is right there, and he appears to give him enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, there's a Blue Devil right on him right when he caught it, and then another one came in and helped him finish him off.
And just a timing route. So, right, it was Gunnar, I think, running about an 11-yard hook. So just sprinting out there, putting on the brakes, coming back to the ball. And there was great coverage there by Sunnyside, but a nice catch by Hernandez. 1st and 10 Cats. The ball's at the 25-yard line. 6:05 on the clock. 2nd quarter, Cienega up 21-0. Karan Watson, Brady Belts near side. And it's a handoff going up the middle. And it will be a gain of 5 for the Cats.
Looked like he was about to get stuffed at the line, but I think he just ran into his own dude.
And that was Cole McFarland carrying the ball for the Cats. But it's smoky here.
Yeah.
the grilling. I love the grilling because it makes it feel like you're going to a tailgate. And I love that Chris DeRozier, the athletic director from Cienega, has implemented grilling. So we were out there last night covering concessions for JV with Bobcat TV. Also there with Jack Erickson and the Fellowship of Christian Students, which is also great to work with those Cats. And I loved grilling burgers last night. Burgers and dogs on the grill. So it just makes you feel like you're going to a football game when that aroma hits your nose. The moment that you get to a parking lot at a stadium, it just feels part of the atmosphere of going to a football game. So I love it. It's part of the experience. But it is very smoky here tonight as well. So it'll be 3rd and 5. Bobcats all in white. Again, you might see a little accent or a little splash of pink, and that's because it's October, and we're trying to find a cure for cancer. But in particular, the month of October is dedicated to breast cancer awareness. So make sure, ladies, that you get out there and get your mammograms once a year, just to detect early in case there are any problems or issues that come up. The earlier we detect cancer, the easier it is to treat and recover from it. So Brody Coleman on the reception picks up a 1st down. The ball is inside the 15 to the 14 here, so the Cats in the red zone again. And a menu of options for Coach Nightingale here on offense. I mean, you can do anything you want to. Run the ball, pass it, play action. Anything's up here. Brady Belts is at wide out near side. Handgartner is in the slot. Karan Watson far side. Little pitch play. Flare pass left side. Watson tries to power his way right through a trio of Blue Devils. And Ethan Shockmill, his left tackle, was out there as well. So we're seeing a little bit of misdirection here, which is nice to see, right? We've got fake runs going one direction, and then you see Cherry like firing it out very quickly to the other side of the field.
Yeah, it's to keep the Devils guessing. We're seeing, like you said, we're seeing screens, we're seeing motions, trying to clear the left side, right side, whatever it is.
And it's working. It's difficult to defend against. You're giving these defenders a lot to kind of think about in real time. And Braden Cherry will keep the football. Oh, now he flishes it out there. A little bit of a flick out to the near side to Brady Belts. So again, I never want to see Braden Cherry running the football, honestly, because he runs upright and he exposes himself to hits. He has scored a couple of touchdowns, so I shouldn't say he should never run the ball because he can be effective in short yardage situations. But at the last second there, a little option pitch to the near side and a high pitch there for Belts to corral. And the Cats here now looking at, is it 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Might just run some power football here. Go behind your big offensive linemen, see if they can move that defensive front. Handoff goes to Cole. Cole spins, and he's stacked up there close to the line of scrimmage. Good battle there on the outside between Karan Watson and Eddie Lopez, number 11, the free safety from Sunnyside. And good sportsmanship there as well. We have a player from Sunnyside coming up slowly here. That's number 72, Gabriel Graciano, who lost his helmet. So Graciano is coming off of the field here, wincing a little bit in some discomfort and being attended to by the student managers from Sunnyside. 2nd down and goal. The ball's at the 2-yard line. Cats might try to run it again here. And Cherry holds on to that one, and he is tossed hard to the ground on that play. Got to be careful, right? So I think it was 79 on the tackle, and that's Frank DiCochea, the sophomore, 5'9", 200 pounds. Just have to be careful, right? You got these big defensive linemen, and they're just kind of salivating about the prospects of snatching that quarterback in their big paws, and then they can just toss him to the ground pretty hard. So good to see Cherry popping up here. Sets up a 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Cats have Coleman near side, who's a target, and Handgartner is running in motion. Now he gets a jet sweep, and CJ is in the end zone for a touchdown. So 5 yards on the touchdown run by CJ Handgartner. The king. He is the homecoming king, so long live the king. And Handgartner has made an impact already early here. A blocked punt early that Josh Savage returned for a touchdown, and now the 5-yard touchdown run by CJ Handgartner.
Yeah, that's three great drives in a row by Cienega.
Just very clockwork, very methodical. Just pushing the ball down the field, mixing the run and the pass pretty deftly. And here comes Brindley Larenko to attempt the extra point. Low snap. Great hold by Brady Belts. He did it so fluidly. The ball was low and slightly off to his right, and he just scooped it in one motion, placed it down there, and Brindley blasting it through, and the Cats up 28-0. So CJ Handgartner, 5 yards on the touchdown run. I'll give you a quick scoring summary here. We've got 2:15 on the clock left in the 2nd quarter. It was Cole McFarland, 72 yards on the touchdown run. Brindley is perfect on extra points, and it was 7-0 at that point. Josh Savage, he recovered the blocked punt by CJ Handgartner and scampered in 3 yards for a touchdown. Brindley's extra point made it 14-0. Richie McCormick, 9 yards on the touchdown run. Brindley's extra point made it 21-0. And now CJ Handgartner, a 5-yard touchdown run. Brindley's extra point, and we're at 28-0. So you are up to speed on our scoring results here for tonight. I know Nick Irvin's looking forward to a good night's sleep tonight. And I know that because I'm looking forward to the same thing myself. Bobcat TV, man, and Nick Irvin in particular, has been everywhere. Here's a little squib kick from Brindley, down to the 20, and a little scamper return across the 30, and some room to go across the 40. Out to midfield, a great return by Diego Ariano, Mr. Everything for Sunnyside.
Yeah, he just got a couple of blocks there, and then he found a little hole, started running.
And very patient too, right? Like it's kind of hard to teach. Who was the great running back from Pittsburgh? Le'Veon Bell. Bell was so patient as a runner, right? And then when he went to the Jets, it just kind of fell apart for him. But when he was in Pittsburgh, he was superlative as a runner and very patient. I don't remember watching a running back in my experience as a fan and viewer who is as patient as Le'Veon Bell, just kind of threading his way, often putting his hand like on the back of his lineman and then trying to find a seam, and then boom, a burst of speed. So we saw a little bit of that there by Diego Ariano, the sophomore, #1, player to watch out for Sunnyside. All right, some movement there on the line, offense, defensively. Quarterback back to throw, deflected there, and a late flag. So I think Cole's going to be called for pass interference. And the pass was intended for #6, Armando Guzman, incomplete. But I think that we will get a pass interference penalty going against Cienega. Maybe a hair or a fraction of a moment early there. And that's the call indeed. So it'll be a pass interference penalty, 15 yards and a first down. So Sunnyside with excellent field position here. Plenty of time. You've got 2:03 on the clock. No timeouts, but you don't need timeouts. You're close enough here. You're in striking distance. You could hit pay dirt with one throw. So we'll see what Sunnyside draws up here to get a score on the board and get these fans back into the game. 1st and 10. Runner goes in motion far side. Quarterback in the pistol. And a good coverage there. Cole McFarland just screening his man defensively, not giving him a lane to try to catch that football. The intended target was #30, Samario Garcia, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, McFarland was all over Garcia right there. He had nowhere to throw the ball.
Well, these linebackers, right? So you've got McCormick, McFarland, and Spezio Gonzalez. All three of them are excellent in coverage. So I would consider them to be, you know, kind of sideline to sideline kind of linebackers. You can blitz them. They can handle themselves defensively in pass coverage, and we know that they're very stalwart against the run. So extremely versatile weapons for Coach Justin Argraves. And we have, looks like a stoppage here on the field. We'll see what shakes out. Just the officials here. Just trying to get all the players on the same page. So 2nd and 10. Clock is frozen at 1:59. Runner goes in motion far side. It's Armando Guzman in motion. Quarterback back to throw. The ball's tipped. Nice catch there by Nicholas Mcdaniel off the deflection. So a great job to retain that concentration and make a nice catch. So a couple yards on that one. 3rd down and 7. And very quickly here, Dion Conde back to throw. Goes far side. The ball is caught, and C.J. Handgartner with a violent tackle there, but a nice catch by Samario Garcia. So it's 4th down, and it'll be 4th down and about 5, and Sunnyside, as they should, going for it here. Conde back to throw, under a lot of pressure now, scrambling, and he's swallowed up. And it's Garrett Montgomery there on the sack, big 56 there. And the Bobcats will take over on downs, 1st and 10.
I think there was like 3 or 4 cats all over him. He had nowhere to go.
You know, that defensive line from Cienega, I don't know if I mentioned it enough, but they are, thank you, Adriel. So Adriel Miller's here tonight. Little Miller, as Bobcat TV calls him. And I've got to have my roster here somewhere. I've got a roster of the whole crew tonight on a sheet of paper. So we have a big squad here. We had to break up into 2 vans. So next time we'll just take the minibus. I had to pass a test apparently at the district office for transportation. And I'll throw a shout out there to Jerry Brown, my guy in transportation. Birdie Coleman with the catch and a gain of 17 and a 1st down for Cienega. We've got 1:11 on the clock. I think Cienega has all 3 of their timeouts left. So if they want to, they can certainly, you know, stop the clock. And they're trying again to put one more score on the board here as there's a penalty marker down, and it looks like a false start going against the Bobcats. But we had to split up, and I hate splitting up, Nick. I like being in one van, one bus, one vehicle together, but it was fine. You took one van, I took another. We went to Lucky Wishbone for dinner tonight here down on, I'm trying to remember the highway. Is it Old Nogales Highway that we went on for dinner? So, you know, if you haven't been to Lucky Wishbone, I wouldn't recommend it all the time. It's high grease, but it's so tasty. And we had a nice pregame meal. Pass intended for Handgartner. A collision there, inadvertent. Good coverage by number 25, Anthony Martinez. Martinez, a sophomore. He leads the Blue Devils in interceptions with 4. So he is a ball-hawking safety and corner, and good coverage there. So now it's 2nd down and 15. We also fed a couple of stray dogs, which Mrs. Miller does not want to hear. So I gave them some chicken strips. You know, I'm contributing to the problem. But they were nice as could be. So a large dog and a small dog. And my son was like over the moon when he saw a cat getting chased, a stray cat being chased by the dogs too. So good times with Bobcat TV. Play action, flare pass, far side, incomplete. 3rd and 15. And you see Brody Coleman here looking up toward the sky, disappointed in himself. That's a pass that he thinks he should catch. And he usually will catch that pass. 39.9 seconds on the clock. So 39 and 9/10. And the Bobcats looking at a 3rd and long. So a trio of wideouts. You have Jimmy Diaz, Christian Hawkins, and Brody Coleman near side. Runner comes in motion, and it's a jet sweep here to Cole McFarland. Actually, that was Richie McCormick. No, that was Cole. No, Richie. Sorry. So Richie McCormick on the run. And he's close to the first down marker, and the Bobcats call a timeout. So they're trying to conserve some clock here.
Once again, those motions can do everything. They probably thought it was going to be a play-action pass, so they stayed deep, and he had all the room to run.
And it's going to set up a very close 4th and 1. So again, Cienega likely to go for it here. And you're just trying to give yourself another couple of plays here going into the locker room. Give yourself a chance to take a couple shots at the end zone. You also have Brindley Lorenko and her powerful right leg as part of the calculus here. So we've seen her drill her 1 field goal attempt of the season, which was a 22-yard field goal make for her. She's also 29 of 30 on extra points for the season. So hyper accurate at the kicking position. She has my vote for the region kicker of the year without seeing all the other applicants and candidates. I've seen enough of Brindley to know that she is sublime as a kicker. 4th and 1. We'll see what the Cats do here. And I think that's Richie McCormick at running back behind Braden Cherry. Cherry in the pistol, maybe trying to draw an offsides here with a double clap, and now looks over to the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock. Bad snap. Cherry gets it, and now a whistle. And it might be a delay of game here going against the Bobcats. Let's see what the penalty is. A false start. So a false start against Cienega. And I wonder if that might change here Justin Argrave's decision-making process. The Cats might punt, or they may go for it on 4th and 6 yards to go. Still going for it. So 27.2 on the clock. Jimmy Diaz is flanked out to the top of your screen. Brody Coleman on the bottom of your screen. And it's a pass here to the far side, and the ball is caught, and it should be a 1st down for Cienega. Christian Hawkins on the reception, so there's Blue on the catch. The clock stops momentarily as they move the chains forward, and now the clock resuming. 17 seconds and counting. Tick-tock goes the clock down to 13 seconds. Cats here are squandering the precious seconds on the clock, down to 6 seconds. Might be the last play of the half. Cherry back to throw, cranks it up, goes far side. Jimmy Diaz leaps, got a hand on it, great coverage there, and that takes us to halftime. But the Cats going for broke here, the last play of the half, and you see Diaz with that leaping ability, but a couple of Blue Devils were right there in coverage and clamping and thwarting that attempt, but the Bobcats on top 28-0. Brady Carson, any thoughts from you before we take a little break here for halftime?
Just the Devils need to figure out a way to stop Cienega's elite offense, if that makes sense.
It does. And it's a hard puzzle to solve. I mean, it's easier said than done. You can scheme, you can game plan, but sometimes it's about the players that you got on the field. And the Bobcats, we know, are just loaded with talent, offensively, defensively, special teams. And it'll be interesting to see how Sunnyside tries to adjust here in the second half, if they can. Sometimes you really can't make adjustments. You can just try to put some innovative wrinkles or some trick plays out there to try to climb back into this one. But they're not stopping. The grit, the determination, the resiliency we've seen here from Sunnyside, which we expected coming in, they are not slowing down. They are giving it their full effort and energy, and they're just having a difficult time here because Cienega has so much talent. So we will take a break. Set your watches if you want to synchronize them at home. We've got 14:50 on the clock and usually an extra 3 minutes, so about 17 minutes on the clock here in the halftime show. We'll be back in 17. Stay tuned, come back, don't disappear. We'll see you for the second half on Bob. All right, back in action from Sunnyside High School. Jason Miller, Brady Carson, Bobcat TV. Reagan, hold on to these keys. You hold on to those. I had too many keys in my pockets. All right, we'll have post-game interviews with Reagan Scott. We have a couple of targets that we're identifying. Josh Kinsavage being one, Garrett Montgomery the other, and JoJo Parker. So we're hoping to get all three of those cats to talk to post-game. So stay tuned for the post-game interviews with our great sideline reporter, Reagan Scott. So it'll be the Cats here receiving, and you wonder, it might be a good chance here for Sunnyside to maybe try an onside kick and try to catch the Bobcats asleep here to open the second half. Something, they need a jolt. They need some sort of like a little boost of energy here to give themselves some momentum coming back in this game. Mike, there it is, the onside kick. And did that ball travel 10 yards? Let's see. Now there's a flag down. So let's see. One, I'm not sure if the kicker is able to recover his own kick. So let's find out and see what the call is here. But I like the call. I kind of called it too. Why not? Try an onside kick to open the second half. So the Blue Devils indeed there with a nice little boost and a great onside kick by Mike Vasquez. And now we have a late call here. And the Bobcats will retain possession. So I think the same thing I talked about. So Cienega will have the ball. I don't think, and I know there are fans out there who are more knowledgeable than I, but I don't think you can recover your own onside kick as a kicker. I don't think the kicker can recover his own kick.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, but I know there are people out there who are listening and they're like, yes, you can, or no, you can't. So, but I don't think you can. So it's 1st and 10 Cats. Ball is right at the midfield, right at 50-yard line here. And the Bobcats 28-0 on top here, opening the second half. Pitch goes to Cole McFarland, far side. Cole threading his way through patiently, picks up 4 on the carry. It'll make it 2nd and 6.
The offensive line pulling there helped McFarland get a couple more yards than he really should have.
So was it the left tackle that was pulling?
I think it was the left guard.
So left guard, that would be Shug, Anthony Murrieta, 76, the big senior. I know they like to pull Ethan Shockmel at that left tackle position. So Shockmel undersized at tackle, but athletic, scrappy, and gritty. And we'll see him kind of pulling often from that left tackle position. A trio of wideouts near side, one far side. And there's Cole McFarland in the Wildcat. And Cole McFarland off to the races. Touchdown, Cole. 44 yards on the touchdown run by Cole McFarland. So there's a wrinkle we have not seen. A little Wildcat a couple years ago. All these teams were choosing a little Wildcat package. But the Cats there unveiling theirs. And Cole, 44 yards on the touchdown run. Love those wrinkles. Love to see a little misdirection, deception, trickery. Very difficult to defend against. Well, Rich Rodriguez, the long snapper. Brady Belts, the holder. And Brindley Lorenko, high snap. Another great job there by Brady Belts, and it threw off the extra point. So the extra point, no good. So we've seen Brady deftly here handling, and I think that threw off Brindley's timing. It was a wild snap, and it was high and behind him. He caught it, tried to put it down quickly, but I think it threw off Brindley just enough there. So she's missed her second extra point after being perfect for so many attempts in a row. So no good on the extra point, but the Cats 34-0 here extending. Well, that ends a streak there for Brindley. I'm trying to look at my notes and my stats, which are all over the place. All right, so coming into tonight, Brindley was 25 of 26. So she hit her first 4, making her 29 of 30. And now she's 29 of 31. Still sublime as a kicker. And again, I think it was the snap there, the errant snap there, that threw off her rhythm and timing. So methodical, so clockwork as a kicker is Brindley Lorenko. And a great job there by Brady to get the snap down. But again, just throwing off that rhythm. So the Blue Devils here, a nice return. Excellent field position from their own 35-yard line. Looking at the short end of a 34-0 deficit here. And just trying to get some plays, some positive plays here to start getting some positive momentum. And just trying to get something, mustering up anything to get that 0 off the scoreboard. 1st and 10, Sunnyside from the 35. Running play goes to the left side. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play. Damian Orozco on the tackle, and Brody Coleman as well there, assisting on the tackle.
Yeah, you got met at the line, legit right at the line. So you just had to power through for a couple more yards.
Bobcats have, you can see them left to right. So you have Nolan Baker, Garrett Montgomery, Damian Orozco, Big D as his teammates call him, and Brody Coleman at right defensive end. Jimmy Diaz and Gunnar Hernandez at corner. McFarland, McCormick, and Spezio Gonzalez at linebacker. JoJo Parker and Elias Santana at safety. And it looks like we've got movement on the offensive line for Sunnyside. So a false start makes it 2nd down and 13 for the Blue Devils. Now, fans, I don't know if you've seen, so Ryan Marsh, one of our senior wizards in Bobcat TV, who works tirelessly, just like Nick Irvin works tirelessly with Bobcat TV. But Ryan Marsh put together a couple of excellent highlight reel videos where he filmed with his own DSLR camera down on the field, and then he cobbled and edited together these highlight packages. I think, Nick, we've got some like 5,000 plus, 7,000 plus views, and that video has not even been posted for 24 hours. So we'll be sure to share that with you. There's Cole McFarland, and he'll get a sack on that one. All he had to do was touch the quarterback. The quarterback there wisely dropping to the canvas. So Dian Conde, I think, saw his life flash before him for a moment, because you've got Cole McFarland with a full head of steam coming right at you.
Yeah, he did not get touched at all. He just ran right through free.
So sack 6 for Cole. I'm giving him credit for a sack on that one. He just touched the quarterback there ever so gently. But boy, that had violent potential. Oh, I love that. And I think the public address announcer, I believe here, is Nick Duddleston, who is also the film and TV teacher at Sunnyside, one of my colleagues and one of my friends, and Casey O'Brien, the athletic director. So great to get a shout out here by the public address announcer at Sunnyside. And Nolan Baker there, putting pressure on there. A great pass there by Conde. And it's going to be a gain of 13 on the reception by Diego Ariano. So now it sets up a manageable here.
There was a couple of cats. There was a couple of cats that got free. I'm surprised he didn't get sacked.
Well, you have to go for it. So 4th and 4. The ball's at your own 41-yard line. You're down 34-0. You've got to make something happen here. Get a first down and give your offense a couple more opportunities here to make some plays. Conde's been impressive. He does have the early interception, but he hasn't had, like you've mentioned, Brady Carson, not much time to throw. So the poor kiddo is kind of scrambling for his life. Player goes in motion far side. Conde back to throw. Delivers it on target for a first down to Trayvon Armstrong. So Armstrong picks up 8. And the Blue Devils a first down here, converting the 4th down. 1st and 10 right at midfield.
Yeah, that was just a nice little slant route trying to get free. And it worked. So first down.
Trayvon, a big target, is number 15, 6'3". The senior, averaging 16.8 yards per reception. And another catch for him there to move the chains for the Blue Devils. A much needed first down here. Now this is a great sign, and we'll come to this in a moment. So I'm looking at the cheerleaders from Sunnyside, and they have a giant poster being carried on a couple of banners. McFarland slips, and Savage slips. The ball was deflected, and a great catch in traffic. at the 30-yard line. And a gain of 20. And it was Diego Ariano on the reception. And there's an injured Blue Devil. I believe that's number 30, Samario Garcia. So he's writhing in pain there. And again, this is pure speculation. But he is holding his midsection here and writhing in pain. The managers that are attending to him are telling him to stay still. And my guess is he got a shot to the midsection and may have had the wind knocked out of him. So we know how that can feel. And a pall here over the crowd as a hush gets everything quieted down. Samario Garcia, the sophomore, number 30. Nice playmaker for the Blue Devils. And we see some movement there from him down on the field, but an obvious pain and discomfort. So 7:26 on the clock, third quarter. The clock is frozen. It's Mario Garcia down at the 30, being attended to. Now he's sitting up, so that is an encouraging sign. And he is getting up now, being helped up to his feet. So nice applause here from the fans at Sunnyside. And I can see the fans from Cienega, who travel well always, also clapping. And it appears that he is favoring his right leg, so not putting any weight on that right leg. And we do hope that Samario Garcia will be okay. And we want to wish him and his family the very best and let you know that Bobcat TV is pulling for you. So we hope it's not serious, but definitely favoring not putting any weight on that right leg. So 1st and 10 after the great catch, the 20-yard reception here, and the ball's at the 30. Condi running for his life, scrambling backwards now. A great scrambler, looking to throw downfield, delivers, and the ball is intercepted, I believe, by Jimmy Diaz at the 20. So after all that, Dion Conde was scrambling for his life and then fired one near side down the sideline. But Jimmy Diaz was lurking, and I think he was out of bounds. So even though he made the interception, he was out of bounds. So 2nd down and 10 here for Sunnyside from the 30-yard line. Oh, we lost that banner. That banner was up there. I don't know if you saw that, Nick, but it was like, remember these nights, you'll miss these lights, or remember these lights, you'll miss these nights, I think is what it said. Senior Night 2021, a very positive message there from the Sunnyside Blue Devil cheerleaders. And we love to see those types of positive messages and want to encourage our students as well to be positive. Root for your Cats. Under pressure, throws down the field. It may have been offensive interference there against Trayvon Armstrong. JoJo Parker was right there in coverage, lockstep. But poor Dion Condi does not have much time to throw, Brady. That was a point that you made early in the first half.
Yeah, and they're still bringing all the blitzes, and they still haven't figured out an answer for that. So
just tough. I mean, he's really doing his very best, and he's flashing off some great athleticism, some excellent scrambling. We've seen him make some beautiful throws off the run, but it seems as if almost every play he is like Queen and David Bowie, under pressure. 3rd down and 10. Diego Ariano is slotted out to the far side. A pair of Blue Devils in the slot. Conde back to throw, looks near side here, and a miscommunication. His receiver did about a 10-yard hook, and that was Trayvon Armstrong. And Dion Conde was going full distance there, just airing it out. So incomplete. Now it's 4th and 10. Well, of course, you must go for it. So 4th down and 10 from the 30. They converted a 4th down earlier in this drive. And then a big 20-yard pass play where the ball has kind of remained at the 30. So 4th and 10. Bobcats have Malik Ramirez, number 14, subbing into the game. So Malik, a cover linebacker. I think he has 3 interceptions on the season in limited playing time. So 4th and 10. Diancandi back to throw. Under pressure here, blind side, delivers it, just got rid of it. Ball floats up there, and a beautiful interception by Cienega. And I think that was Malik Ramirez. So Malik, on cue here, making an impact coming off the bench. And that was an excellent play there, drifting back in coverage, elevating off the leap, timing it perfectly, and making the interception in traffic. So a big play there by Malik Ramirez, and you see his headshot there. So his 3rd interception on the season for Malik. But I just spied him, and I'm like, there's 14, there's Malik Ramirez. I know he's a playmaker, and on cue, making an interception here for the Cats. So 1st and 10, Cienega deep in their own end from the 5-yard line. 6:42 on the clock. The Bobcats on top, 34-0. And a beautiful October night. Crisp and cool. Football weather. Richie McCormick on the pitch, and he'll pick up maybe 3.
Yeah, once again, the guard's pulling, giving him the room that he really never had.
Right. Yep, no doubt about it. Number 23, Roman Cañez on the tackle for Sunnyside. Cañez, a senior. His 36th tackle on the year for Cañez. So 2nd down and 6. The Cats have a pair of wideouts slotted near side. Gavin, or actually that's Christian Hawkins and Jimmy Diaz. On the far side, I think Gavin Peterson and Braden Cherry in the pistol. Play action, swing pass near side to Diaz. Diaz pumps the legs forward, dangerous there. He was kind of sitting up at the 15 in the grasp of a Sunnyside player, but picks up the 1st down, and the chains move forward for the Bobcats.
These misdirections is really opening the offense up for Cienega.
Right, we've seen some excellent creativity here from Coach Lewis Nightingale. Jimmy Diaz, again, for me, profiles as an elite wide receiver, and he's already flashing it. And we also see him as a lockdown cornerback as a sophomore. And I've been told, I met his dad and uncle, I think, last week, and he's like, wait till you see him play baseball. So we can't wait until the spring. You know Bobcat TV is going to be there. Second baseman, right, for the Bobcats is number 11, Diaz. And also his sister, I think Alyssa Diaz, we met last week as well, who I think is interested in Bobcat TV thanks to Reagan Scott. Reagan Scott, not just a great sideline and field reporter, but an avid recruiter for Bobcat TV. She's brought at least 6 cats into our club and program this year. She is the gift that keeps on giving. So Reagan Scott excelling in every aspect and also bringing kids into Bobcat TV. If you're watching at home, we're always looking for kiddos. There's a pass, wide open space, Brody Coleman running over a couple, and it takes about 4 to bring him down, but a big pickup. A gain of about 26 there for Coleman, who brings it close to midfield for the Bobcats.
It kind of looked like they were playing a zone there, so Brody just found the open slot.
It's an open little seam route there. Think of your big targets in the NFL, right? Travis Kelce, maybe Zach Ertz, now with the Cardinals. And he'll make an impact for Phoenix, I have no doubt about it, or Arizona, I should say. And Brody Coleman there walking off kind of gingerly, so don't like to see that happening. But he is he's making his way off to the sideline where he'll get some treatment there by Joe Urquijo Islas, the head trainer for the Bobcats. Does such a wonderful job, plus all those trainers in training. So they have aspirations on entering the medical field, and they're getting a great education with that JTED program under Joe Islas. Gavin Peterson on the jet sweep, and it was not fooled there. The tackle by the Blue Devils, it was Johnny Rendon, number 28 on the tackle. And it's 2nd down and 14, so a loss of 4.
Yeah, Sunnyside saw that the whole way. Met him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of like 3 or 4.
Got 3:45 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Bobcats up 34-0. I'm looking ahead to the schedule, not too much, but I know next week is a big game at Marana. That'll be a shootout. And then the Cats will return for their senior night on the 12th of November to host Rincon University High School. So 2nd and 14. Little pitch here goes to Richie McCormick to the far side. Richie patiently there, lowers the shoulder. He's still pumping those legs, pushing backwards, and a gain of, I think, maybe 3 or 4 on that one. And it will make it a 3rd and about 10.
I don't think Richie ever went down on that play.
No, I don't think so either. Just constantly pumping the legs, right? That's what you want to see all your running backs at any level, from Pee Wee football all the way through the NFL. You want to see your runners just continuing to churn and pump those legs. Even if your back is to the line of scrimmage, you see running backs continuing to push and push and push and push. Again, a reflection of the weight room and the weight program at Cienega under the great coach, Steve Schween. 3rd down and 10. Richie comes in motion. Now he settles into pass block. Ball nearly intercepted. So that was one that could have been caught. Anthony Martinez, who has 4 picks for the Blue Devils, had that one in and out of his hands. And I know that he's just like, ugh, he's probably trying to take off running and think about his next running lane before he actually secured that football. So unfortunate on that one. Braden Cherry, conversely, is thankful and lets out a little sigh of relief that he wasn't intercepted on that play.
Yeah, that's definitely a throw he wanted back. He had CJ over the top, I think, running free. So I think that's his target, but just underthrew him a little bit.
Yep. And Diego Ariano, who is Mr. Everything for Sunnyside, kick returner, punt returner, wide receiver, and also a rusher, is awaiting the punt. So Ethan Shockmill's first punt here. Actually, that was Josh Consavage. So there's Josh, who is the backup punter. So we've seen Josh here excelling in a couple of different areas. "36 yards on the punt by Consavage. There's a holding penalty against Cienega. Now remember, Ethan Shockmill, number 55, the senior, is the starting punter for Cienega. Shockmill has a tender right ankle. So he's got a sprained right ankle. He's tough, so he tapes up his right ankle so he can play left tackle. The Cats are using him there at left tackle. It affects his punting more than anything. So they will need Ethan Shockmill punting again, maybe next week at Marana, and I'm hoping he can make his return in that position. But there's Josh Consavage, the tenacious defensive end who is high energy, full throttle all the time, who made an impact earlier on a punt return for a touchdown off of the block by C.J. Handgartner. We often see him chasing after quarterbacks like the Tasmanian Devil, and now he's filling in at punter. So that's a question for Reagan Scott to ask him as well. You know, not only the touchdown, but also, hey, you made your debut as a punter on varsity tonight as well. Low snap, does a great job fielding that one. Here's a good punt. So down to the 25-yard line. Diego Ariano there on the return. And a great tackle out in space by Christian Hawkins. And a penalty here should be against Sunnyside for an illegal block in the back. Let's see how it shakes out. But there's blue, Christian Hawkins, making his mark on special teams as well. And we'll wait for that indication from the referee down on the field. But I think it's a legal block in the back by Sunnyside. It did not deter or thwart Christian Blue Hawkins, who made a great play in special teams. So the penalty is an illegal block there against Sunnyside. So the ball is pushed back to their own 10.
this is where Cienega blitzes could actually pay off a
right, and also dangerous, right? If you're trying to throw the football, you've got all those ball hawking vultures, the corners and safeties, who have dreams of pick six. Conde back to throw. He was right on target there. Nick Chance right there in coverage for the Bobcats. A cloud of dust. The pass was off the hands of Diego Ariano. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Well, some Cats coming onto the field. Ethan Chavez, number 20. A excellent cover linebacker is the senior. We still have JoJo Parker and Elias Santana at safety. Malik Ramirez at that middle linebacker position. I think he's in there for Spezio Gonzalez, so spelling Spezio. And you still have Richie and Cole at linebacker, Jimmy Diaz and Gunnar Hernandez at corner, and there's JoJo Parker with a great tackle at the 10-yard line. And JoJo limping here, walking gingerly. That's how I look when I wake up in the morning sometimes, and I'm a little bit stiff coming out of bed. So he's just kind of gingerly walking off there, and then he's down. So he's down there on the sideline, and I think he's trying to stretch out, it looks like his calves. So I'm guessing it's a cramp there for him, because he's almost doing like a little mountain climber drill, I think trying to stretch out both of those calves. But he's being attended to very quickly there. You see Joe Islas, the trainer, and it's now 3rd down and 7. Conde back to throw, coming near side, lost it up. His receiver got tangled, so I think it was inadvertent, and the intended target was Mekhi Gaskin, number 14. He had his legs ensnared with Elias Santana's, and now there's a late penalty down there at the 10, and it might be one of the players from Sunnyside complaining about it here. Let's see how this one shakes out. So oh boy, roughing the passer against Cienega. I didn't see it, Brady. Did you see that penalty?
I did not see that.
So a 15-yard penalty here against the Bobcats. Devils have it 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Again, I need to thank Casey O'Brien, who is the athletic director at Sunnyside High School, one of the very best in the state of Arizona. Always a pleasure to work with, and a great men's soccer coach at Sunnyside with a championship to his ledger in the last 3 years. So you can expect the Blue Devils of Sunnyside, that boys soccer program, to reload, and they will be a factor in the 5A playoff mix, no doubt about it. We're looking forward to covering his soccer team at some point this year. We made that commitment, happy to do it for him. So here's a run to the right side, and it's Nicholas McDaniel on the carry. And another late penalty here. So it might be some chippiness here from the Bobcats. You have to be careful. Don't want to have any ejections, that's for sure. That may have been an ejection here. Elias Santana has exited the field. And the Bobcats call a timeout. So again, speculating here, but there was a penalty against Cienega. The Bobcats called their first timeout of the second half, up on top 34-0 with 1:34 on the clock here. But it's dangerous, Brady, because if you have an ejection, I think that you have to sit out the following week's game. You don't want to lose Elias Santana for a huge matchup against Marana at Marana next Friday night.
Yeah, he's a key player to this defense.
Key.
And he's also a great punt returner too. And I'm pretty sure he does kick returns too. So just a great all-around player you don't want to lose.
Again, you have Diego Ariano, the sophomore from Sunnyside number 1, who is their Mr. Gadget Swiss Army knife. Elias Santana is also a Swiss Army knife utility gadget player that you can plug in any role. I'm sure if you put him in offense, he can make an impact. He's a shutdown free safety who we've seen have pick 6 interceptions. We've seen him return punts for touchdowns. We've seen him return kickoffs for touchdowns. And he can kind of do a little bit of everything for the Bobcats. He's also a charismatic vocal leader in that secondary. So if he's out of the game, and if he's been ejected, which again I'm speculating on, then I think he has to sit out the following week's game, and that would be a huge loss for the Cats preparing for their Week 9 matchup at Marana. All right, I have to look at my phone here. I have to see the score of this baseball game. It's killing me. And we have all the referees there in a conference with Coach Hargraves.
Braves win 2-0.
Oh, final. Oh, that was a fast game. I mean, maybe it wasn't fast, but so 2-0 shutout by Atlanta. The Astros just 2 hits. So a pitching duel. And at one point you told me, Brady, that they had a no-hitter going.
Yeah, the no-hitter was going until the 8th inning.
So Atlanta now a 2-1 lead in the World Series. Game 4 tomorrow. You can catch that on Fox Television, channel 11 locally, KMSB. So a really long delay here, and I bet that Coach Hargraves is imploring all of his players, don't do anything stupid. Like, just play the game, shut your trap, don't talk trash, play the game. Let's finish this game out here, get on the bus, get back to Cienega, and reload for next Friday night at Marana. Can't afford to lose anybody, but I think Elias is out of the game. And you don't want things to devolve, right? You want to continue to exemplify sportsmanship and be competitive. You're competing always, but there's no need to berate or denigrate or talk trash to the opposing team. Pass there intended for Trayvon Armstrong, broken up by Jimmy Diaz, incomplete.
Yeah, Jimmy Diaz was all over the route.
All over it. But a beautiful night and a beautiful campus here at Sunnyside High School on East Bilby Road. 1725 East Bilby. And a beautiful vista off to the distance. You can see the lights of Tucson to the west. I'm trying to think of my compass directions here. So off to the west, the bright lights of the city of Tucson. Just one of the best stadiums in the city of Tucson. Here's a big run by Nicholas McDaniel. I guess they call him Brock, so it's Nicholas McDaniel, but the teammates there call him Brock McDaniel. And Elias Santana did tell me that earlier today. He's like, yeah, he's like, they call him Brock. He's like, we used to play in youth football together, but that run's coming back here. It's a holding penalty against Sunnyside. Too bad here on that one. Well, Brady, this is way before your time, but back in the day, they used to play day games in the World Series. Now it's all on prime time because you have those big television dollars and the advertisers want to be on prime time television to capture the largest market share, the largest viewing audience. But I have very fond memories of watching the World Series at my grandparents' house on crisp October days. And I wish that Major League Baseball would consider bringing back a couple of day games. Not all of them, but play a couple of games on the weekend in the daytime. And we have a really loud muffler there racing through the south side of Tucson. There's a run up the middle, and it's a gain of 8 and a first down. Again, it's Brock McDaniel on the first down carry. But I would hope they play some day games. I just like to see a sun-washed field in October, and it just kind of reminds me of those earlier, simpler times, right? Things are so complicated, seemingly, in our society these days. I want to encourage everybody out there to just take a moment, be a little bit kinder to somebody who's next to you, treat people how you'd like to be treated, and we've got so many things in common. There's no need to be negative in general. All right, 1st and 10. Runner goes in motion far side. Brock McDaniel on the handoff, goes left side, picks up 3. And the tackle on the play is by Cienega's number 74. And that is Brendan Lucas. So Brendan, the big junior, number 74.
That's 3 straight carries by Mcdaniels, which I'm pretty sure they're trying to get him the ball.
Yes.
Try to get him the ball more, try to get that run game going later in this game.
Yep. I mean, coming in, he was their big runner. So it takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. But Brock McDaniel, number 5, the senior, honored as part of senior night festivities, coming into tonight with 617 yards, averaging 7.8 per carry, plus 9 touchdowns. So there's no doubt that he is a big piece of the puzzle here for Sunnyside. And they're just trying to get him going. And again, trying to build momentum here into next week's game. So next week, I believe they're hosting Rincon University. And I think the following weekend, they head down to Nogales. So both games winnable, right? And I would favor Sunnyside in both those matchups. So even though Sunnyside is having a tough time tonight against Cienega, right, and they will likely drop here to 4-4, they should likely win out against Rincon next week, Nogales week 10, finish the season 6-4, and should be in the playoff mix. So, you know, again, Glenn Posey doing a good job here at Sunnyside, keeping this program very competitive. Just having a tough night against Cienega tonight. The Cats are loaded with talent, and they're all clicking. They're clicking on all cylinders. They're starting to vibe and gel and coalesce as a team, and they're a tough matchup. And in my dream of dreams, Brady Carson, I want to see the Bobcats play Campo Verde in the playoffs again, or Sal Point again, because I think Cienega can topple either one of those teams in a rematch. Both close games, both early in the season. The Bobcats are a much different squad in week 8 than they were in week 2 and week 3. Nice catch, big hit. Wow, that was a pop of a hit and a great catch there by 14. I think the Bobcat who made that tackle may have been shaken up a little bit, and that was Brady Belts. So Brady Belts, again, rather small in stature, but whipping out that big hit there. And a great catch and a nice job by Mekhi Gaskin, number 14, to hold on to that football. First down, Sunnyside. All right, here's a snap. Conte under pressure, and there's Josh Savage with his second, well, his first sack, but his second big play of the night. And it's a loss of 12 on the play.
He almost slipped out of that tackle. Savage just grabbed his jersey and just threw him down.
Right, Rodeo roped him and just kind of gave him a whip. Threw him into the whip. Third down and a long 22, it appears to be here. Dan Conte hands off to Brock McDaniel. McDaniel here off to the races in the end zone for a touchdown. There is a penalty down on the play. So if it stands, it would be a 23-yard touchdown run, although it appears the referees are talking to Cienega, so this one looks like it's going to come back. Too bad. 23 yards by Brock McDaniel on the touchdown, but negated by the holding penalty against Sunnyside. It's too bad. It really got the fans energized here for a moment. Not much to cheer about here, other than celebrating all these wonderful seniors from Sunnyside High School tonight for the Blue Devil faithful. Now, if you haven't seen our coverage of Wednesday's Vail Classic, which is the cross-country meet from Micah Mountain, featuring Cienega, Micah Mountain, Empire, and Andrada, you should check it out on our YouTube channel. Just search Bobcat TV. Check that broadcast out for two things. Steve Taggart on color commentary, and Chance Calger with his aerial photography using the drone footage. Nice little screenplay out here to Brock McDaniel. Gets a nice block. He's got some room to go inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 24 on the reception by Brock McDaniel. And Sunnyside is set up 1st and goal, although there's a penalty marker down on the play. And now we're being assailed here by killer moths is the only way I can describe those, Brady. One of them flew right into your chest there. Off the 19, off that Juju Smith-Schuster jersey. Watch out. I think it's the last gasp here for these insects. And I think too chilly for the bats. I think the bats might be in hibernation because I haven't seen any of them out here. So these giant insects here from Sunnyside High School. And the penalty, I missed the penalty. Did you see what it was?
I did not.
Unsportsmanlike against Sunnyside. Okay. Well, at least the referees here are policing and keeping it fair on both sides. So the first down stays. And it's 1st and 10, Sunnyside from the Bobcat 20. 9:50 on the clock, 4th quarter. Handoff goes to Brock McDaniel over the right side. He'll pick up 5, maybe 6 on that carry. And it sets up a 2nd down and 4. Again, stay tuned post-game. We'll have Reagan Scott, our intrepid reporter down on the field, interviewing Josh Kinsavage for sure, and hopefully Garrett Montgomery and JoJo Parker. That's who we're hoping to have post-game. Maybe Malik Ramirez because he had a sick interception, so that's an option too. We'll see. We'll see who she chooses to interview post-game, but we'll have several Cats post. Conte back to throw, and the ball was in and out. Nice job there defensively by Nick Chance to break that one up at the very last moment. It was in and out of the hands of Diego Rivera. So now it's 3rd down and 4. All right, big 3rd down here for Sunnyside. It's 3rd and 3. Dan Conde in the pistol. Runner goes in motion far side. Little play action under pressure. It's Kinsavage again. And a late push there. And Kinsavage applying all sorts of pressure. Boy, a real thorn in the side here is Kinsavage, but making a great impact here. He's always excellent on defense. And now we have a late penalty. Let's see what this flag is. It might be a late push there against Kinsavage. Or actually they're saying intentional grounding. So the quarterback was not out of that tackle box or that pocket, and he was under such pressure, he's just trying to get rid of it. And the refs blew the flag there on that one, so it's an intentional grounding call going against Sunnyside that'll move the ball back here to the 30. So it's 4th down and 20 from the 30-yard line. And for Sunnyside, you've got to go for it here, of course. They may attempt a field goal, so we see the kicker coming out here as well. And I think that's what we're seeing here. So the field goal attempt, and it's going to be Mike Vasquez, their junior kicker, a 47-yard attempt. Vasquez's long this season is 28 yards. The kick is up! And it just whistles wide to the left. It appeared to have had distance there. So don't blame Sunnyside for trying to put points on the board. They may need Vasquez in a game next week or the week after or in the playoffs with a big moment. So we've got some fans here who are making their ways to the exits. 8:57 on the clock, 4th quarter. Cienega's up on top, 34-0. But I don't fault them for trying to kick a field goal there. You want to get that 0 off the board at all costs.
Yeah, you're trying to build confidence into next week.
And again, Vasquez may have a big moment next week against Rincon University, week 10 at Nogales, or in the playoffs, where he may be called on to kick a field goal in a crucial moment. So give him a shot there to get some experience. Got no problem with that whatsoever. So a gain of 3 here on the run. And I think that was C.J. Handgartner, the wide receiver, on the carry. We still have Braden Cherry out there at quarterback. Pitch to the far side. And a big gain here. Going down the far sideline all the way to the 40.
It looked like they sent both of their middle linebackers, which just cleared the field for the running back.
So 35 yards on the pickup. We do have an injured player down on the field. And it was Edgar Garcia, number 28, on the carry. On the season, 15 carries, 134 yards, 8.9 yards per carry. Last week he had a 20-yard touchdown run against Nogales. And there's an injured Blue Devil down at the 32. So that Blue Devil is being attended to. We'll give you status here as soon as we can identify that player. So 8:12, frozen on the clock, fourth quarter. And a hush over the crowd again. Had a couple injured players, but they've bounced back and popped up and seem to be doing okay. Always hate to see these injuries happen. All right, so this is encouraging. The players sitting up. Appears that they're looking at the legs. Now being helped up. And the injured player is number 70. That's Jacob Kota, and Kota is a sophomore. So Jacob here a little shaky walking off. But good to see him walking off on his own accord, for sure. So want to wish him the best. Hope it's not too serious, and a full recovery for next week. Second down and 5. The clock resumes running here. 8:05 and counting. Oh, big hit. Real big hit. And a late flag. So the tackle was by number 56, Jason Taylor, who just lowered his right shoulder. And tackled Edgar Garcia. So a 15-yard personal foul penalty going against Sunnyside. At this point, Brady, I just want this game to end as quickly as possible. I don't want to see anything else happening extracurricularly on the field in terms of penalties, in terms of dirty player cheap shots or trash talking from either team. Let's get this game over. Let's get the teams on the buses and get them out of here. Well, Cienega really will take the bus. Sunnyside will be heading home, probably in their own vehicles here tonight. But just let's let this clock keep running the football, try to get out of here unscathed. Again, we're speculating about Elias Santana being ejected, but we'll try to see if Reagan can find out some clarification. Fumble, ball's down, and I think Braden Cherry recovered that fumble. And the other question I have is, at what point will Braden Cherry come off the field? So I see Will Matson, number 17, entering into the game here for the Bobcats. So Will is a senior, a transfer, playing at wide receiver. Good to see him getting some action here on the varsity for the Bobcats. He's lined up in the slot here near side. And it's a handoff going to Edgar Garcia. Edgar will pick up 4. Third down and 12 for the Cienega. 6:40 and counting on the clock. But just to kind of reiterate again, if you haven't seen the Vail Classic, Micah Mountain, Josh Farr, the great cross-country coach, Cienega, Scott Burnham, and Sam Dupre, great coaches for the Bobcats. Empire, Caleb Brooks, and I forget the coach from Andrada. I'm so sorry. Brian Frausel from Andrada. 4 great coaches. So many wonderful student athletes there. And it was Grusendorf from Micah Mountain winning for the boys, and Natalie Flores winning for the girls. Cienega captured the girls' crown and the boys' crown by the slightest of margins, especially for the boys. Micah Mountain took 1, 2, 3. Cienega was like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and it was the closest of scores. But it was a great meet and a celebration of all of our high schools in the Vail School District and all of those wonderful distance runners from those 4 cross-country teams. So if you haven't seen that footage, I would highly recommend that you check it out. Just to listen to Steve Taggart and his commentary and watch Chance Calger and his drone wizardry, as that aerial photography was amazing. So we want to thank Niemer Hasse and Whitney Holland and Josh Farr for putting that event together. And then I've got to give credit to my guy, Nick Irvin, who coined the term the Vail Classic. So that is what it is. And next year, that meet will be run at Andrada Poly High School. And Rod Carrier, the assistant principal, Jeff Parks is the principal at Andrada, but Rod Carrier is like, we need you next year. We're already committed. So we're committed to doing it next year. We can't wait for year 2 of the Vail Classic. And we want to wish all those runners the very best of luck on Wednesday as they head toward the regionals. So many of those runners will be making their foray into the state tournament for cross country. They will have qualified for state. And we wish them the best of luck at regionals and beyond, all the schools and all the runners from those Vail high schools. All right, here's Savage again. Nice little spiral. Gets a good bounce. And Brady Belts makes a tackle. And he has a little assist there by Richard Rodriguez. So Rich Rodriguez, also the long snapper here, gets some high fives from his mates.
Yeah, once he recovered the ball, Brady Belts was just all over him. He had nowhere to run.
So fast. So a tough return there, but excellent coverage on special teams. Well, the special teams have been special for Cienega. Kicking extra points. Yeah, the blocked punt by C.J. Handgartner. The touchdown recovery by Josh Savage. And 5:09 on the clock. Might be the last drive here for the Blue Devils of Sunnyside. Handoff left side. Brock McDaniel on the carry. And he will pick up 8.
Yeah, once again, just trying to build that confidence going into next week's game. It's a huge game for them, so they need all the confidence they can get.
It is. And again, Sunnyside should take care of business against Rincon University next week. They should go on the road in week 10 to Nogales and should handle Nogales in week 10. So we're looking at a team that had a rough night against a very difficult Cienega squad, but they will regroup, refocus, reload, and be ready for next week's game. Pass was just off and a little behind there, Diego Rivera, the intended target. So 3rd and short, but you're right, Brady Carson, Sunnyside just needs to develop some positive momentum and kind of reset. They're going to have to forget this game quickly, reload, lick their wounds a little bit, and get ready for next week's big game against Rincon University. But I envision them winning their schedule out, finishing 6-4, making the state playoffs, being a lower seed, having a tough matchup in week 1, but still, you could only quantify that as a successful season. Handoff goes far side. Brock McDaniel tries to find the edge. Tackle on the play by Cienega's number 31. Nathan Butler, so Nathan, a junior.
Yeah, he had a lot of room to run. Hit that corner and he was just gone.
Yes. 4:05 on the clock. It's got kind of a little bit chilly. I mean, it was, look, it's easy for me. At the first hint of cold weather, I'm running for the gloves, the scarves, the mittens, and the beanies. The beanies on. Not quite glove weather yet, but we're going to get there soon. Pass intended for number 14, incomplete, off the hands of Mekhi Gaskin. A little high, a little behind him. 2nd down and 10. But it's sweater weather, that's for sure, or hoodie weather. A beautiful night. You know, temperatures now dipping into the upper 60s. Oh, big pass play, nearly caught there by Diego Ariano. He was a little bit turned around, looking over his right shoulder, then looking back over his left shoulder, and just out of his reach, but nearly dropped in right where it needed to be. So a close call there, but incomplete. Now it's 3rd down and 10. And again, we're in communication with Reagan Scott, our sideline reporter. For sure, Josh Savage. For sure, JoJo Parker. Maybe Garrett Montgomery. She said maybe a coach, so we'll see who she pulls out there. She may pull a rabbit out of her hat for all we know. We'll just have to wait and see what Reagan Scott comes up with. You know it's going to be good, though, so stay tuned for that post. 3rd and 10. Diancandi back to throw. Goes far side and completes. It'll be a gain of 6. Mekhi Gaskin on the reception. It's 4th down and 4. 3:20 on the clock. Bobcats here trying to pull off back-to-back shutouts. You know, that means a lot to those players. Certainly Coach Justin Argraves, the defensive wizard that he is, would love to see another 0 on the scoreboard here as a result tonight. Nearly a shutout against Mountain View. It was very late where they scored their touchdown. There were some 2s and 3s on the field for the Cats in that game as well. But impressive in back-to-back-to-back weeks defensively. That is his calling card, and it's been very impressive, especially of late. So run goes to the right side. For the Cats, it was number 36. That's Patrick Fleming on the tackle. And a 1st down here for Sunnyside. .230 on the clock. Sunnyside just trying to get a score here. 4 wideouts, a single running back there for pass protection. Diancandi rolls to his right, throws off the run just behind his intended target, and the pass was broken up by Nathan Butler. 2nd and 10. Perfect, so we've got Garrett Montgomery confirmed. So Reagan will talk to Josh Savage, JoJo Parker, and Garrett Montgomery. So Parker and Montgomery are 2 of the 4 captains. Last week she interviewed the other 2 captains, Richie McCormick and Cole McFarland, whom we affectionately have called the Mick-Mac Attack. And apparently those kids like that. So I'm glad that they like my nickname that I came up with them for. So, and Jimmy Diaz for me is double down. So he's number 11. Just like in blackjack, you always double down on 11. Plus Diaz goes both ways. corner and wide receiver. So he is double down for me. I don't think he'll like that nickname, but you never know. So we try some work, some don't. Sometimes the kiddos like them, sometimes they don't like them. But we're trying to be colorful and entertaining and informative all at the same time here on Bobcat TV. Again, the band, the Copper Thunder Marching Band, tomorrow night, performing at the University of Arizona at the all-day band festival. Scores of schools from across the state of Arizona all competing tomorrow. The Bobcats are scheduled to go on at 7:15, so we'll either be there live broadcasting on YouTube or we'll record it and upload it after the fact. Tuesday night, girls volleyball home, play-in game for the state playoffs. And we will be there with play-by-play and color commentary. Reagan Scott, Savannah Smith on the call. Flare pass goes near side. Rich Rodriguez there, another tackle for the great long snapper from Cienega. Spezio Gonzalez also there. And number 36, Patrick Fleming. So a trio of Cats. And now it's 4th down. So 1:43 on the clock here. And Sunnyside trying to pick up 8 yards and another 1st down here to give themselves a couple more chances to attack toward the end zone. So Diego Ariano, number 1, slotted near side. A trio of wideouts to the top of your screen. And Dion Condi fires and connects to Diego Ariano, who picks up 6, and not enough for the 1st down. So the Bobcats defensively here will get the football back, and they will likely just kneel, take a knee, and run that clock out here. And it was a well-played game from both teams. We saw a couple of penalties, unfortunately. We think we may have lost the Bobcat here to an ejection, but we'll have to clarify that for you and hope that that's not the case. So we think Elias Santana was ejected, but I'm not certain about that. So we'll try to get clarification on that as well. Reagan, that would be a question to ask the kiddos kind of off camera. Like, was Elias ejected? If he was ejected, I think he's ineligible for the following week. So if you can find out that off the record, off camera, that's fine. And then, you know, you've got Josh Savage with his touchdown, his punting, his sacks. You've got Garrett Montgomery, the senior. You've got, I can't understand your gestures here, but you're making me squeamish. So I don't want to see any of that stuff happening. And then JoJo Parker as well. So you're making me feel queasy over here. Somebody's not feeling very well. Is that what that means? The whole team's not feeling well? So they're feeling like stomach issues? Oh gosh. All right, Reagan, we don't want to expose you to any possible illness. So it might be something that those kids ate, who knows? But, you know, be careful. You know, if a kid's not feeling well and is under the weather, we don't want to push them too much. But of course, we want to talk to those cats. So we'll have you, we'll sanitize the microphones and we'll get you some hand sanitizer. Have to wipe some across like your face just to make sure you're killing any germs you might be exposed to. We can't lose you, Reagan Scott. You're a key piece of the puzzle here on Bobcat TV. And we're looking forward to Tuesday's volleyball match that we hope you and Savannah will be able to call. If not, I'll be there as well. Like, we'll figure it out one way or another. But the game here was decisively won by Cienega, 34-0. So don't forget that microphone. Be careful meandering your way down onto the field. And I'll just go through the scoring summary here very quickly. So it was Cole McFarland opening it up on a 72-yard touchdown run. Brinley Lorenko made the extra point, and it was 7-0 Cats. Then it was C.J. Handgartner, a punt block deep in Sunnyside's end. Josh Savage was there fortuitously to scamper up that football and scat into the end zone on a 3-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, making it 14-0 after Brinley's extra point. Richie McCormick, a 9-yard touchdown run. Brinley's extra point made it 21-0. And then it was C.J. Handgartner, a 5-yard touchdown run. Brinley's extra point made it 28-0. And then Cole McFarland, his second touchdown, a 44-yard touchdown run. Brinley's extra point was no good. It was a wicked snap that Brady Belts did his best to put down, and I think it threw off Brinley's timing. So it ends her streak of consecutive extra points, but the Bobcats triumph here 34-0. Brady Carson, final thoughts from you before we fill some time here waiting for Reagan to grab her interviews post.
Well, Cienega is going into next week, a big week for them with a lot of confidence after this game.
Yes.
It was a huge game for them, and they really did. They played really well. Run game was well. Braden did really well. So it's just a lot of confidence going into next week.
It's wonderful to see Braden Cherry. I know that week 1 at Sunrise Mountain was a really tough loss for the Cats, but since that week, they have improved week by week, gotten better and better in all 3 facets, offense, defense, and special teams. And we're looking at a team here that is gelling, a team that's vibing, a team that is very cohesive as a unit, a team that's playing like a family, brothers and sisters together, really galvanized, unified, collectively together, and just improving week by week. Their confidence is also going through the roof. So we see that reflected in how they play. This is a team that early in the season had some difficulty. They lost a couple of close games, right? Losing close to Sal Point, close to Campo Verde, losing on a last-second field goal. But they figured out now how to win. They've also figured out how to put these teams away late in games. We've seen some great defense, back-to-back shutouts against Nogales and now here against Sunnyside. So this team is peaking at the right moment, and they have a wave of confidence that will carry them into Marana next week, that delicious Week 9 matchup. Week 10, they're looking forward to playing against Rincon University, but this team takes their schedule 1 week at a time. And it sounds cliche, but that's exactly how they approach it. 1 game at a time, 1 week at a time. We don't get ahead of ourselves. We prepare for each opponent each week, especially. And I know they will have wrinkles to confuse and befuddle and confound Marana next Friday night. We will be there with bells on Bobcat TV. So be sure to tune in next Friday night, same cat time, same cat channel. All right, do you spy Reagan? There she's down at the 35-yard line. We've also got Isaac Parks, Zeta Neo, Julian Varela, Ryan Marsh, Jessica Schoonover, Brady Carson making his debut on Bobcat TV tonight beautifully as a color analyst and commentator. Who's Pittsburgh playing this weekend? Who are the Steelers playing against?
They have the rivalry matchup of the Browns.
Okay, is that game in Cleveland or in Pittsburgh?
I think it's in Cleveland.
And they're coming off a bye week, right? So Pittsburgh is 3-3. And Cleveland, are they also 3-3 or are they 4-2?
They're 4-3.
Oh, 4-3. Okay, so a big matchup in Cleveland. I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan of Baker Mayfield. I have no idea why. Sometimes players just kind of rub me the wrong way. I am a big fan of Ben Roethlisberger, the great Hall of Fame to-be quarterback from Pittsburgh, who has had such a wonderful run as the signal caller in the Steel City. He's one of the best quarterbacks, in my view, in NFL history. You know, he's part of that era. It's unfortunate, right? You've got Tom Brady, you had Peyton Manning, who are always kind of listed as those great quarterbacks. You've also got Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Now you've got the younger class of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and Drew Brees also part of that mix, who retired recently as well. But Ben Roethlisberger is one of the great quarterbacks. And Mike Tomlin, one of the great coaches in my view in the NFL as well. Nothing but success there in Pittsburgh, and he's done it the right way. So I'm going to root for Pittsburgh. All right, perfect. So we're hoping to get Josh Kinsavage first. And if you're wondering, like, Reagan was giving me some gestures, and it was the sick gesture. And I'm like, please don't do that. Like, I feel fine, but you're making me feel squeamish and sick just by making that gesture. You know, the gagging or the kind of fingers to the throat. Please don't do that. So something's afflicting those Cats. And we're still hoping to get Josh Kinsavage first, as well as Garrett Montgomery and JoJo Parker. So 3 impactful players, 3 of the leaders on that team, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. But we'll have to see when and how. But she's got to bring them. She also has to bring them close. So even where she's at the 50, we've got to bring them closer to the track and the sideline. No, bring her at the 40. She's got to be closer to us. Stop. Come to the sideline. Come toward the track. Yep, we've got to be close. We're having some signal issues with our microphone. Beautiful. I see Adriel Miller right there in the mix as well. My 10-year-old. He's like a kid in a candy store. All right, so we'll give Josh just a second here. He's dumped his hat onto the field. And we'll make sure that we've got her loaded and ready to go. And here's Reagan Scott with Josh Savage. All right, we're hoping to get sound here from Reagan. All right, we're going to come back to her in just a moment. All right, get her on the walkie.
What's going on?
Tell her to check the button, make sure it's green. It should be a green light.
It's on green, right?
Yeah.
Batteries? I don't know. I don't know if the battery issue or what. Try it again.
Where's that second mic at? Be patient, folks. We're going to make sure we get this resolved here.
Right, back. Yeah, we're having issues, Dad. I'm sorry.
We're going to come right back. So give us a moment to fix this. Stay patient. Where's the second mic at? In the bag, right? All right, let's test this one out.
We're testing the second mic. Give us like 1 minute. I stand by everybody. So 1 minute, we're running the second mic down.
Group. Hold on. E3. Okay, run this down to her.
All right, mic is coming right now. ETA 20 seconds.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes we have some technical difficulties. So
Low budget high school.
we've got Isaac Parks here sprinting down. Look at him, like an elf, as deftly as Legolas, as deftly as could be, from the Fellowship of the Ring. So there goes Legolas, and we're hoping here that the mic switch will resolve our difficulties. So stand tuned. Give it a shot here. Test it out, Reagan.
All right, go for it. Test it out.
I'm Rick Scott here with Josh Savage, number.
Quick, Ryan.
All right, sorry for the delay. I'm Reagan Scott here with Josh Savage, number 44 for varsity football. So tonight, Josh, you guys came out to Sunnyside. It was a big win. You guys are getting higher and higher in the playoff rankings. How are you feeling as a player? Are you what side of the line are you playing on? What's going on throughout your mindset these games?
All right, well, I feel like if we come in every week from the start, from now on, and we go to work like we should be going to work, there should be nobody who's going to stop us up until the playoffs. And even in the playoffs, there should be nobody that's going to stop us. So I'm pretty excited for the rest of the season, to be honest, and I'm just glad to be back. And I'm glad that we had a big win like this. It's gonna help a lot.
Definitely, and I mean, next week, and that former game.
No, not just gonna starting to work more hard. There's a lot of things that we have been lacking with our practices. We have really there's a lot of understandings, things that work together now. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you guys, and I just put it out there in a bond between you guys as players. I mean, do you think your bond is getting stronger and stronger each week? You guys are able to click more?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Everybody on my team I consider a brother to me. Like, I got JoJo over there. That's my brother. Anybody on this team, even the people that I had problems with prior, that's still a brother to me. So I love this team.
I'm so glad I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so glad that you guys are able to come this far. We really hope you the best of luck the rest of your season, and the best of luck in your career. And thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a good night.
All right, so we're gonna move them. We're gonna move that whole camera setup closer. We're having some signal issues here, so we apologize if that audio cut in and out, which we think it did. But it's great to see number 44 there, the senior Josh Savage, with that interview. And now we've got JoJo Parker with Reagan Scott. We're gonna go right back down to the field to Reagan.
Have Josiah Parker, number 2. Also, Josiah, tonight you guys came out, beat the Blue Devils. I mean, there was a lot of tension on the field. I could definitely tell. A lot of flags were thrown. Words were said. Do you think that you guys have had this ongoing rivalry for a long time, or is this a new thing?
No, we've known Sunnyside's a pretty dirty team since freshman year. And freshman year when they beat us, like, this game meant a lot to us because, like, we haven't played them because COVID. And then sophomore year they canceled on us. So, like, this game meant a lot. And thank you. And then winning today, I know it meant a lot for all the guys. And I'm just glad that we came out with the big win.
Yeah, and we see you got some fans out there.
Yeah, I love Miss Jen. It's one of my favorite monitors. Yeah.
Definitely. So, I mean, we did have a couple highlight reels, and you were in them, and we've seen some great plays from you throughout this whole season. And I just wanted to, like, good job to you. Like, you're doing so great. You're fighting hard out there on the field, and I just want to say congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to go into every game, I pray before every game, like, let me get a big hit, let me get a pick, and then I try to play on the field and make sure it happens.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, congratulations on this game. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the season, and we hope that you have the best luck your rest of your career.
Thank you. It means a lot.
All right, well done, Reagan Scott. Right, so very, very coolly working through those difficulties. So if we can get Garrett Montgomery, who's down there at the 30, to try to. Okay, so we don't think if we didn't get Garrett tonight, we're targeting him hopefully for next Friday night. So we'll cut it out there from Reagan Scott, who again, as cool as could be, working through all those technical issues and difficulties, which we apologize for. So Bobcat TV strives to give you as close access as we can give to you guys down on the field. And right, if you want to subscribe and like us online on our YouTube channel, if you want to sponsor us or give us some of your patronage, of course, we would always be happy to take some of your financial support so that we can buy new equipment that gives us cleaner signal and better quality so we can deliver to you the highest production value that we possibly can deliver on a week-by-week basis. Bobcat TV is a little bit like the pauper in Mark Twain's The Prince and the Pauper. We're not the prince, we're the pauper. And we get by with a shoestring budget, with older equipment, and we could certainly use some new gear. So we're working on that. We're trying to fundraise. We have a grant request in through the Vail Education Foundation. We're hoping that gets approved. And one of our top items on that wish list is a brand new wireless microphone with hopefully better signal strength and quality. So any last thoughts from you, Brady Carson, here before I sign off for the evening?
No, I have no more last thoughts.
Well, you're a good man, and I appreciate you coming out here, man. You did a great job. Superb. And our homework is always to watch the rebroadcast at some point over the weekend. You're probably watching college and NFL anyway. Pay attention to the color commentators and listen to how they call the action. I always try to follow the play-by-play guys and try to emulate what those guys do, but I thought you did superbly here tonight, and we really appreciate you being on here, making your debut on Bobcat TV.
Thank you for having me.
You bet, man. 100%. Well, for the whole crew, right, and I'm hoping that I don't miss anybody. So we have Nick Powell and Preston Slanina, and Ryan Marsh, and Zeta Neo, and Adriel Miller, and Isaac Parks, and Jessica Schoonover, and Sarah Villalpando, and Nick Irvin, and Brady Carson, and Julian Varela, and Jason Miller. And I think we kid everybody for Bobcat TV tonight. So be sure to stay tuned. Tuesday night, girls volleyball play-in playoff game, a big matchup. Make your way to the Boyd Baker Gymnasium to cheer on those girls in person. And if you can't make it, then tune into our broadcast on Bobcat TV. And then next Friday night, it's a big matchup at Marana. We'll be there. Same cat time, same cat channel for the entire crew. Thanks for tuning into Bobcat TV. Good night.